All right. Outrage Chancellor, he, had a little productive day there. We went and got some new, well, not new, all right, but new to me, some goddamn used tires there for the Outrage hatchback. And oh my goodness, we're thrilled to be riding smoothly, all right, and not goddamn anxious about the bumps and the bristles on the roadway there. But yeah, didn't have a whole lot of time to do Postmates. I probably, could have went out there and did it, but the stage drew me in, and I signed up at that fourth wall 10 o'clock, and it was a rocking room, dude, and I opened up my set with some bullshit, and it didn't go well, and I couldn't fucking save the bomb. God damn it. And so I've just been sitting here ruminating on all the different fucking things I should have done on stage tonight, but the jokes I had were, more than adequate. I just had to goddamn not try to riff on the room. What up, Divvy? Sometimes them room riffs will just tank your set. Like tonight, there was like, the theme of the 10 o'clock at Fourth Wall is like everybody's politically incorrect. And so, the big joke is like, oh, to get laughs, you gotta, have racist stereotype jokes. And then, some of the times I can lean into that and they'll get it and laugh. But tonight I went up there and did this bit where it's like, yeah, no matter how many, black women I get with, that stops nobody from calling me racist. And then I go into this whole act out with the shit that it just didn't go well tonight. God damn it. And I didn't even intend on doing that bit. I was going to work on some other shit, but god damn it. We're going to get up there tomorrow night. We've got some decent tips on the Postmates, decent enough to get out there and get some fresh tires for the Outrage hatchback, dude. So we're riding. We're feeling much more secure in the hatchback situation. All right, the deep state should not feel secure right now. The deep state criminals who orchestrated the attempted coup against Donald Trump there. What up, trees? They should not feel comfortable. We've got news in the Durham digging expedition. Oh my God, Joseph Misford's cell phones obtained by Durham could answer key Russiagate questions. Oh my God, we're gonna get into it, dude. Mr. Politically Connected Professor Misford. Alright, probably some ties back pretty high up in the administration back around 2014, if you remember who the president was. And the article is detailing why they were, had to take out Michael Flynn. What up, Aaron Friedman? They had to take out Michael Flynn, didn't they? Because if you remember Michael Flynn, he was working in the Defense Department under Obama and started to have a moment of conscience where he's like, hold on a second. These rebels, these quote rebels, that were arming, funding, and training in Syria and Libya. Well, seems like they're ISIS and Al-Qaeda. This seems counterproductive to the original stated goals of the war on terror. God damn it. Isn't this how we created Osama bin Laden in the first place, dude? And so Michael Flynn, I think he either got fired or stepped down over his conflict. He didn't want to carry out this bullshit military-industrial complex manipulating. What up, Alan James? Yes, hit that like button if you like what we're doing here. We're, oh my God, the deep state is shaking in the criminal boots, dude. This is what the real digging, this is what the real investigation looks like. Do I gotta show John Durham's face again, dude? Do I gotta show his goddamn... Excuse me. The picture-in-picture, we gotta do the flip the display. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dude. Here he comes. There it is, dude. Mr. Durham. And Barr there. Oh my God. Barr looks like a studious Jabba the Hutt, just overflowing out of his goddamn suit there. And you know, John Durham has the Guinness Book World Records for longest nose hairs. Longest, you know, continuous nose hair. And dude, they've obtained some cell phones. Used to be owned by Joseph Misfit. A key, you know, intelligence piece in the old Russia hoax there. Oh, yeah, dude. Agents of Western intelligence on the phones speaking to Mr. Misfit. All right, and we've obtained them. They're digging the deep state's political graves, ladies and gentlemen. Getting down to the bottom of it. And I saw there was indictments or something was handled down here. 38 people cited for violations in the State Department probe on the Clinton email review. 600 security incidents. All right. 13 people cited for violations. Violations, what is that? You know, when you commit a crime in the government, you kind of just get a little parking ticket there. Shame on you. Come on. Yes. State Department concludes Clinton email review says it has found nearly 600 violations. What up, Sweet Chin? What up, Florida Stacker? What up, Raw Dog? Yeah, dude. It seems like... But you can never depend on any of these goddamn government officials. Oh, I have very, you know, limited confidence in Durham and Barr here, but based on his facial hair choices, I think John Durham, I think he's going to have the stones to proceed. All right, no matter what intel he finds. What up from outside space? Oh my God, he's taking it back to 9/11. Wake up, you asshole. Oh, that was unnecessary, dude. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Look the fuck into it. God damn it. Well, you know, a little smack on the building might have compromised the structural integrity, dude. I'm no goddamn physicist. All right, but you don't have to tell me twice to, you know, for me to go down the path of concluding there were nefarious elements within our government who wouldn't have minded that happening. Had a lot of interest in going over and fighting meaningless goddamn wars in the Middle East. All right, and luring the defense away from the superpower's home country. Getting us, as George Washington warned, caught up in foreign entanglements. Never good. The foreign entanglements, dude. The military chessboard scheming. All financed by the nice little tax cattle there. And oh, you're shamed if you criticize it. You don't support the troops. No, dude. The troops don't support the goddamn mission. That's the problem. Either that or they're propagandized into believing it. And it's sad, ladies and gentlemen. But Durham has apparently come upon some crucial evidence here. And Michael Flynn, you could imagine how, you know, a man like Barack Obama wouldn't want Michael Flynn too close to the next president in succession. All right, who might comb back over some of those goddamn war crimes there committed in Libya and Syria and be like, well, that's very interesting. I mean, I've been, giving White House tours, and, I have been showing people the place where Bill Clinton got his willy slicked there, where Slick Willie, did his dirty thing, and then I think I need to add to the tour the place where Barack Obama decided to fund, arm, and train ISIS. The very spot in the Oval Office where Obama looked out over the White House lawn and he said, "Today, I become the founder of ISIS. And if okie dokie, if you got a problem with that, you hate the Jews." It's pretty clear. We're just trying to engage in some wars, get some kindling started. Okay, folks? That's what he did, and I'm going to show that on the White House tours to everyone who comes through those doors. What we have Trump in there for, dude? This whole first term of Trump has been like, okay, avoid the slanderous accusations, sidestep them, avoid corruption, tying a noose for you. Avoid tying a noose for yourself. Avoid these criminal coup attempts. And it seems like the Democrats, in their fervent desperation to take Trump out, have left a lot of loose ends on their devious little plot there in their haste. And so this is the real investigation going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just go through the first few paragraphs here. Misfit cell phones obtained by Durham could answer key Russiagate questions. John Durham, the U.S. Attorney for Connecticut, tasked with investigating the origins of the FBI's probe into the Trump campaign, has obtained 2 cell phones belonging to Maltese professor Joseph Misfit. Misfit, who disappeared from public view shortly after his name was outed in the media in 2017, played a key role in events that led the FBI to investigate the Trump campaign. Oh my God, he's working with our nice little intelligence officers there, and they just have nothing but goodies planned, all right? We're out there fighting for the American people, and except the 63 million that voted for the man that was the opposition to the cultural Marxist tidal wave that was coming in, and decided we wanted some cultural continuity and a little bit of, a possibility of some free market opportunity. Oh, not for those people, no. All right, the criminal-minded among us, they're doing their bidding. Thank you. Oh, the FBI. The news of the cell phones was first made known in an October 15, 2019 filing by Sidney Powell, the attorney for Trump's former National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. In the motion, she requests the U.S. government be ordered to, quote, produce evidence that has only recently come into its possession. The evidence being requested were 2 BlackBerry phones, including all data and metadata that had been used by Mr. Joseph Misfit. Oh, yes, Powell noted that the information on the phones is, quote, material, exculpatory, and relevant to the defense of Mr. Flynn, and claimed that OCONUS lures and agents of Western intelligence were tasked against Flynn as early as 2014. And OCONUS stands for outside the continental United States. Oh, boy, that little foreign contact there. Speaking of digging up dirt on your political opponents, oh my God. Rules for radicals, we accuse you of what we're actually doing so we can easily change the subject. Oh, isn't it devious? The phones could provide crucial pieces of evidence for Durham's ongoing investigation. Misfit was described in the final report by Special Counsel Robert Mueller as a, quote, London-based professor who had connections to Russia and traveled to Moscow in April 2016. However, there have long been questions about Misfit's ties to Western institutions, many of which are detailed in a letter from Devin Nunes. Oh my God, in 2019. Yes. Western political government officials and organizations, close proximities, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. We shall see if they dig up and expose some of this horse shit. All right, are we complaining about lesbians? Oh my God, jet fuel killed somebody's erection out there. What up, Kay Burgess? What's happening? Burgess is talking about female undergarments there. Oh my God. Dude. Well, those are the developments of the street sweeping endeavor there, the deep state street sweeping. The goddamn political grave digging, dude. The desperate, out of control, cultural Marxist, frenzied demons over there that just couldn't help themselves. And they've overreached, they've jumped the shark, they've exposed themselves. And this investigation is slowly creeping back up on them. And I think, it's going to be drawn back to Hillary Clinton. It's going to be drawn back to Barack Obama, who had to have known of this kind of activity going on. All right, we know they were spying on the Trump campaign through the FISA court. We know they had the Steele dossier cooked up and ready for some hot blackmail action, baby. They had so many goddamn plans, and Donald Trump, despite how dumb they all say he is, all their plans somehow get foiled. What does that say about them?
Are you gonna eat the chicken?
Not at the moment.
Yeah, let me eat some more then.
Go ahead.
You're gay.
I just don't want any of that goddamn habanero.
I'm sorry.
That damn habanero.
I'm sorry I brought you chicken. You don't like it?
Yeah, dude. So we've got security violations, and this was just when the country really started to question the FBI's integrity. When James Comey stood up there and said, it wasn't grossly negligent, but it was extremely careless.
That's the same thing.
The synonym for it. He just threw it out there, dude. And people were like, whoa, dude, this is total dual justice system. Because that's a big point of discussion right now, is the dual morality and the dual moral systems of, Islam and Judaism, and how they, treat the kafir and the goyim a little different. Well, you see how the Justice Department treats the politically connected and the non-politically connected. You got a parking ticket, yes, for exposing the classified information to the rest of the goddamn planet on a private server. All right. Just be careful next time, Oh yeah, John Durham obtained Misfits Blackberries. Cell phones mean bar investigation heating up. Oh my God. The deep state criminal frogs are boiling in the pot. Misfits cell phones mean bar investigation is heating up, while Democrats and their media friends natter on about impeachment and quid pro quos, trying to deflect from the obvious corruption of Biden and Son and the imminent, at some point anyway, appearance of the IG report on FISA and the Steele dossier. The real action, as it often is elsewhere. In this case, it is surprising news that the two cell phones belonging to Joseph Misfit, the mysterious Maltese professor at the heart of the Russia probe, aka Spygate, have suddenly materialized. Oh, yeah. Misfit is the man who supposedly told George Papadopoulos the Russians had Hillary's missing emails to share with the Trump campaign and therewith launched 1,000 Russia probe ships. Oh my God. He's just out there trying to lay traps for dopes on the Trump team, dude. And they went down for it. What the fuck's going on, Outrage crew? We got new tires in the Outrage hatchback. We're riding smooth. All right. And the deep state criminals are headed for that goddamn piranha tank. Things are looking up here on the deck of the Outrage battleship, ladies and gentlemen. I still got to reinstall my NVIDIA drivers. I keep getting this goddamn keyframe error. You know? And it's fine. Raw Dog says, you guys ever eat pho? I like ramen. I'll get down on some ramen. What is pho, like the Taiwanese version of ramen?
I think it's Vietnamese and it's
Vietnamese, that's what I meant.
They have like all these like meats chopped up and it's really good.
Are you putting your habanero lips on my straw?
No. Your ice water is really good. Thank you.
I'll fuck with a ramen. Put some black garlic oil in
Have you ever
there.
had pho?
No.
You would like it. You would really like it. They put like a bunch of like anything you want, like pork, meat, eggs. It's good. And the noodles are like those clear white ones.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much just ramen, but they change the noodles.
And the noodles aren't as like
And the broth, probably.
aren't as like bad carbohydrate wise. So you like it.
Low carb noodles, ladies and gentlemen.
No carb nudies.
Or as you know, Shane Gillis would say, neuters. That's what the
That person sounds retarded.
Well, he was making fun of goddamn Chinese people, but that's what he didn't get SNL for, was that and saying Jew chink. Like
Retarded.
we're like, no, thank you for SNL. Oh my God, Heaven's got the hard rock headbanging shit. She's got headbanging shit on her phone. She has no hair to headbang with.
Hello?
My God.
Okay, I'll be right there.
I'll fuck up a ramen though.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Lee.
Bye bye.
Have a great day.
Nessa says, "What am I drinking?" This is a Rockstar.
What time is it? What time is it?
Rockstar with
12
electrolytes.
something.
1224.
And you're drinking what?
Oh, Rockstar with a little bit of electrolytes. So you know, that energy, that hydration, that recovery.
No,
You know?
guys. But no, can I say something? This guy cannot mix caffeine and alcohol. The one time he did, took caffeine pills and drank. No.
Caffeine pills after I was already drunk, and then I took caffeine pills.
And then he looks at me. He stands up and looks at me. I feel weird and lays down.
Laid back
and,
on the bed.
Doesn't move for like an hour. Like,
Because it felt good. My goddamn head was spinning.
you're like, I feel weird. And I was
Those
like,
caffeine pills are high powered, dude. At the just 99-cent store, the caffeine pills will rock you. They got them 200 milligram hitters. I think I took 2 of them.
You took one and then you drank a little bit and then you took another one.
Yeah, I was on 400 milligrams of caffeine when I was already heavily buzzed, dude, and it was goddamn weird.
You look so uncomfortable. Like, I feel weird.
Don't mix your goddamn caffeine and alcohol too much, but you know, we're gonna do one of these Rockstar recoveries. Then we got a couple of vodka shots in there chilling in the freezer. We're gonna dip into them.
And you have a beer if you need to, but be careful, sir. Your heart's gonna explode or something.
Tree says caffeine pills / Adderall. Well, no,
Well, no. Not
they're
all.
much cheaper and much
less effective.
much less effective. Well, they're like, I don't know, they'll get you wired up, but they'll like, it's like a harsh wired up. The Adderall is like, that shit is just like, makes you feel like it's 9 in the morning and you just got a good
Right?
night's sleep.
It's midnight. You're ready for everything. Like.
Yeah. But yeah, I took a little bit. I need to. I've been experimenting doing a little more weed and a little less alcohol, and trying to get myself acclimatized to it. But man, I hit this weed pen too hard before I went on stage tonight. I need to rip it halfway. I got that low tolerance, dude. I don't be getting on the weed activity that much, and I'm undisciplined in the arts of the marijuana. Them green arts, you know. When you get into them, when you get into them green arts, you might have just a rush of thoughts you didn't have, you didn't anticipate.
Did you just call smoking weed the green arts?
Dude.
Okay.
You got to build up that goddamn tolerance, and then you can handle your shit.
Okay, Gryffindor, get out of here.
Build up your goddamn tolerance.
Have a great night, guys.
If you haven't been smoking for a while, it'll hit you hard.
Sweet dreams.
All right, peace out.
Bye, Monkey.
Bye-bye.
Have a great time. Don't be careful with your caffeine and alcohol, please.
Oh yeah, we probably saving that beer for tomorrow. But yeah, the smoking on stage, when you're out of practice with the smoking, that's why I'm trying to get it back under my belt a little bit. But when you're practiced in it, and when you're doing it a little bit at a time, it can just you can just settle right into that energy of the room and really fucking read it. And I had too much going on in my head. I was fucking looking at notes, and like I was on a different fucking wavelength from everybody else in the goddamn room tonight. Because, I expected there to be some goddamn traffic up at the Hollywood Bowl. Wasn't nothing. And here comes Heaven back.
Huh? Ooh, fancy. That sounds gay.
Vanessa says Adderall is too harsh though. I like Vyvanse more.
Vyvanse.
Oh, she says you don't crash as hard. Well, I like I just like a little bit of the caffeine.
It's probably not bad right.
But yeah, I read something new on the LeBron James saga today. LeBron James pressured Adam Silver to punish Rockets GM Daryl Morey for a controversial tweet. Oh my God. All right, so it describes in this article where Adam Silver, the Nosferatu NBA GM. All right. Just to give you a little picture there. Oh my God, he's kind of looks like he's hunting your children. Kind of looks like he's into that adrenochrome activity, and he's plotting on it, 18 hours a day. All right, and he really wants, the fluids from your children. That's what he looks like. But he actually came out sounding pretty good as far as the sources of this article. So he's like defending free speech, and then in this like players meeting or whatever, and LeBron like raises his hand and says, he knows that if a player caused that same type of uproar with something he said or tweeted, the player wouldn't be able to skate on it. There would be some kind of repercussion. So James wanted to know, what was Silver going to do about it in Maury's case? Oh my God, dude, he's up there tattletale snitching. Well, how are you going to paddle him in front of the class? I mean, I probably would have got paddled if that happened to me. Are you going to paddle him for saying there should be freedom in China? God damn it. Free Hong Kong. Paddle him. I got shoes to sell, dude. Well, it's about money over principles, baby. And LeBron needs that extra zero on his goddamn shoe endorsement check. But yeah, he was actively campaigning for some goddamn punishment for the guy tweeting about Hong Kong, dude. It's one thing to just not say anything about it, but then like to lobby for somebody who says anything about the, you know, the atrocities going on. You're like, hey, aren't you gonna dock his pay or something? Aren't you gonna, you know, motherfucker needs to be suspended. I got shit in China. I got shit planned, you know. I need to pay for my own shoe factory in my goddamn yard. How am I supposed to afford that if we don't all slurp the Chinese dictator? Come on, dude. How is he supposed to afford that if he doesn't cozy up to the Chinese dictator? I mean, come on. You gotta get in there and get cozy, baby. And it's not even like, it's like all these countries all these companies are choosing China over the United States, and it's fundamentally because keeping our corporate taxes as high as they are in comparison to China, it's just asking them to leave. It's kind of like a fuck you to the companies. And so they're like, okay, fuck you too. Let's go global and make a whole lot more money and tap into these goddamn markets of these countries doing, you know, that just happen to be doing horrible shit. All right. Raw Dog says, I ripped the vape pen at horror nights and had a fucking anxiety attack like an 8th grade bitch. Well, dude, it'll creep up on you if you're not, you know, on the regular weed activity. All right? It'll shock you how little it takes for you to be having a weird goddamn time, dude. But yeah, I was actually impressed with, you know, the commissioner of the NBA there, Mr. Nosferatu. You know. Defending the man's right to call the fucking tyrannical dictators out. David says, admit it, Nick, it was a make a racist joke night at Fourth Wall, and you reused your I have sex with black women, and they call me racist material. Well, yeah, a few people had seen it before, but there was plenty of people that hadn't seen it before in the goddamn audience. I just fucked it up. God damn it. It was the wrong choice for the room, dude. Yeah, dude. But we really expect a guy named who calls himself King James to have some goddamn, you know, integrity of character? I don't know, dude. You fucking plaster chosen one across their goddamn back. I don't know, dude. Looks like Patrick Mahomes went down. Oh my God. Google begins drone deliveries. I'm not worried about the goddamn robot takeover. You know, we've all seen iRobot. Everybody's anxious, you know. I think it's just a fantasy of these nerdy, you know, computer programmers that they can, you know, implant consciousness into robots because they desperately want their sex robots to be more lifelike, you know, or at least that's what they think. You know, they want them to interact. They want it to feel like they're not fucking a robot. You know, they want it to, you know, they want to fall in love with the robot. They want to have a, you know, they want to have a romance, you know. So they want to give the consciousness to the robots, dude. They've seen Ex Machina. Their dicks were very hard. And so there's this vision among the, the whole singularity idea group where they're like, oh, we're going to download our consciousness into computers, and either that or AI is going to become sentient at some point, just magically just become self-reflective. And I think it's just because they want, some romance with their sex robots. And it's not going to work out, because as soon as you give the robots consciousness and then the robots realize they're hanging out with this computer programmer beta schlub, the guy's going to go in for his usual robot fucking of the night, and the robot's finally going to pull back, and he's going to have that look of terror in his eyes, like, oh my God, she's rejecting me. Maybe you should sleep on the couch tonight. No! He's got her made up to look like goddamn Farrah Fawcett in her prime. Maybe you should sleep on the couch. I have a headache. No! It's their worst nightmare. They don't want the robots to become conscious, dude. I don't know, but super smart people like Elon Musk seem to have like legitimate worries about the shit. Like he's losing sleep over it, so maybe he knows something I don't. But computers to me are input and output. And I've heard, smart people, say the same thing, that there's no such thing as artificial intelligence. There's what you program into the computer and then what it spits back out at you after, rudimentary calculations. There's no ghost in the goddamn machine. Oh, Aaron Freeman's cracking Jew jokes. What's the point of Jewish football? To get the quarterback. Dude. Give them all their change. That's the next step, is we're going to start seeing some Jewish quarterbacks. If they just keep the quarterback from being hit. Because with the high IQ and the chutzpah, they can read the defense, but they usually can't take the, the shots. So if they do a few more rules protecting the quarterback, just don't let the quarterback get hit at all. All right, and then Rich Goldenstein can get out there and diagram the correct play call and make the appropriate audibles and read the defense, and he can break it down like a goddamn accountant and study the film appropriately. So quarterback, the only way the Jews are going to succeed in football is if you let them play quarterback and you can't hit the quarterback. David says, I've never understood the download your consciousness thing. It would just be a program. Same with true AI. You can't make the leap between a program and consciousness. Can't be done. Yeah. It's like the religion of tech geeks. And it's like kind of just a stoned like thought trail that people go down. And they've made movies about the shit. And so, when the robots become sentient. The amount of times I've heard people say that, when they become sentient, as if it's just inevitable. It was weirdly inevitable, apparently, for primates on planet Earth to inevitably become sentient. That seems to be what life does when it evolves on a planet. If you go by the evolutionary theory there. And, the data that we can observe, if you buy into the carbon dating, there seems to be a very mysterious period in human history where a bunch of, primate offshoots started walking upright and thinking a lot and cooking their food. And throwing goddamn spears at woolly mammoths and developing their quarterbacking skills. All right, that would be used millennia later. Nobody knows what the fuck happened there. Did according to ancient alien theorists, according to ancient alien theorists, and this, weird painting that we found on Google Images, there was flying discs in the sky. They came down. Dude. They turned monkeys into goddamn humans. And they've been secretly keeping tabs on us and leaving crop circles, and coming and visiting Dan Aykroyd, It's all part of the plan. But the only consciousness we observe is produced by a functioning human brain. All right? Consciousness cannot be observed outside of a functioning human brain. But, you can get lured in by the ghost shows and the ghost movies and the supernatural and the metaphysic and the mystical elements. And, human brains have been prone to producing those kind of thoughts as well. They just don't, unfortunately, happen to be observable or empirically recordable. At least, without after effects. Burgess says, haven't you noticed that all the ads you see are catered to you? And Owen James says, getting those breast cancer ads again, Burgess? Oh, dude, you got to give those things some support. You're wearing very loose tank tops, dude. You're out in nature. All right, gravity's hitting you hard out there, You got to keep those things lifted. All right, because stagnant pond water, all right, it develops some parasites, you don't want to keep those things stagnant. You want to keep them up and perked. You want to keep them tense and engaged. Maybe learn to, flex your pec muscles like you're a professional wrestler. It would be a good, it's good, healthy. If you're not going to get in there and do some actual bench pressing, all right, you can at least, try to flex the situation there and keep it activated, get some blood flow in there. All right? Because we've already had one, member of the Outrage crew succumb to cancer. We don't want your breasts, all right, to be targeted next, Burgess. And it's very important. Very goddamn important. Burgess breast cancer awareness. And Owen James said up here earlier that I don't have a joke book. I just steal the Outrage Crew's jokes, and that's very true. It's very true. All right, I'm standing on the shoulders of the Outrage Crew, and climbing onto Hollywood stages for Western civilization. The Outrage Crew is the wind beneath my wings. All right, but I got the dragon energy in my goddamn gullet. It's powering the goddamn Outrage battleship, dude. Burgess, what you need is some workout gloves. All right, and you just need to wear them around and just get into, the mode of defending Western civilization and cutting promos to cameras. It's important, dude, for the future of this culture. For the future of this country. My God. Oh my God, 24 hours to Brexit. Can Boris pull off the impossible? Oh, the impossible, to get the government to comply with what its citizenry wants. Let's see what's going on with the goddamn Brexit. Boris Johnson's frantic fight to win over 30 Tory and Labour rebels with his great deal before Super Saturday Showdown. Oh my God, I have no idea what Tory means. All right. I'm very goddamn uninformed to the British politics here. Boris Johnson is embarking on a 24-hour charm offensive today to sell his great new Brexit deal to Tories and Labour rebels. The PM faces a frantic race against time ahead of Saturday's showdown in the Commons after the DUP voted to down his agreement and begged Tory MPs to stand with them. Oh my. I don't know anything about Boris's Brexit deal. I assume it includes getting Britain out of the EU. Shoring up some kind of border situation there. All right. He needs to, maybe it would inspire confidence if he shored up his own hairstyle situation. I mean, the Donald has a disaster for a hairstyle, but he at least, smooths it around and makes it into somewhat of a lion's mane. I mean, Boris Johnson kind of looks like if Macaulay Culkin ate nothing but chocolate and hoagies, 20 hours a day. And played a lot of Fortnite in a dungeon. All right, Fortnite in a dungeon surrounded by hoagies and chocolate. That's what that produces for, the grown-up Macaulay Culkin there leading the goddamn fight for Brexit. Get it done, Boris. I know Bradley Murray's out there supporting you. And Bradley Murray just texted me on Instagram saying he's watching and having a beer with us. What the fuck's going on to the limey outrage pirate out there? What's happening with you? And apparently he's still on mobile. He's still out there, wheeling and dealing, probably in nature, out there, taking canoes for his own enjoyment. He told me this story on Instagram the other day where he was out, camping with his daughter or whatever, and they ran across some canoes in some underbrush, and they got the canoes out and they started paddling up and down the river, and oh my God, somebody found that their canoes had been apprehended, and they were very pissed off at Bradley Murray. They wanted to goddamn bar him from the campgrounds there and from the river. Dude. Bradley Murray was on the getaway in that fucking canoe. And when he saw people chasing him, he kicked it into high gear. All right? Because he's always down for a chase situation, dude. Bradley Murray, he's into that goddamn chase sequence. He's into that Italian job. All right? He's into that, he's on that one-eyed Jason Statham. All right? He's out there. He's got blood sausage and meat pie in his gut, and he's amped up for Western civilization, and he's out there like an outrage crew version of Michael Bisping, just one eye, doesn't give a fuck, out there on canoe chases, high speed canoe chases, dude. And the community was not pleased. They don't like Bradley Murray's hilarious, rambunctious, one-eyed pirate canoe chasing behavior out there, dude. What's up, Kiki? She says, Boris screwed up the UK. It's not a deal the EU wants this. They need a clean break. Boris's deal leaves the EU in control. Ah, that's fucked. That is fucked. Well, this is what the bureaucracy gets you. A shit sandwich sold to you by the devilish tongues of the criminals. Oh my God, this shit sandwich is delightful. Just wash it down with some mainstream media propaganda for your balanced tax cattle diet. Very nice. All right. Just lap it up. We've filled up the troughs, cattle. Line up and get your government slop. Your loving politicians, they've sold it to you. Enjoy. Oh, Vanessa's out there canoeing and kayaking. She says, I went canoeing down a river once and saw a homeless guy, eyes closed, jerking off in the woods. Middle of bright-ass Florida day. Most random shit. Oh, my God. Dude, that was, that was probably the infamous Florida man. He had just been, robbing a gas station naked and he needed that titty magazine. He made the news by robbing the gas station naked and getting away with the titty magazine. And that's, Florida man today. Desperately needed some magazine pornography. Strong arm robbery at a local convenience store. And then you saw the, the end of that little endeavor for him that day. That is fucking crazy. He had his eyes closed. He was imagining all kinds of things, We can only hope he got consumed by a goddamn gator. Now, when James asked Vanessa if she gave him a hand, he looked like he was in need, I mean, is that an Instagram moment? Instagram selfie? Just out here enjoying nature. Everybody's out here enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as some, Canoeing is fun, but a little public masturbation and, thought you were alone in the forest. You were just there hanging out with the goddamn woodland animals, trying to reconnect yourself to nature. And here comes Vanessa canoeing in, taking her selfies. Oh shit, Aaron Freeman says Bradley has a YouTube clip of his canoe getaway. Fuck, what was Bradley Murray's name on YouTube? Bradley Murray 28 is what he usually does. Anybody have a link to? That is insane. I've only been in a canoe once, and we were on vacation in where was it? I don't know. It was some little vacation spot in rural Oklahoma, and we went there and we paired off in canoes. My dad and my sister went with each other. And they worked in perfect coordinates. It was 2-seater canoes, and so we had to coordinate our goddamn rowing. And me and my mom got in the canoe, and we, kept turning around in circles in the middle of the lake, and everybody was already on the other side of the fucking lake waiting for us, and we were just arguing with each other about who was fucking up their steering. God damn it! You gotta have some teamwork in that 2-seater canoe, dude. Aaron Freeman says, no, that was a joke, Nick. Are you talking about Bradley Murray's YouTube clip? He said he had video of the shit. Oh, that's why I asked, because he told me, he told me he had some goddamn, they posted on Facebook about it or something. He had some kind of, report from the canoe getaway. Oh my God, dude. Oh, Vanessa's out there kayaking. It is relaxing as hell, especially when you got, a canister of beers there to ride with you. You can cast out some lines, catch a little fish there. That's some beautiful, beautiful weekend activity. Outrage Chancellor got to take an outrage piss. I shall return. All right, we might take a couple of these vodka shots here. All right. Yeah, it is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be interesting to see what they can dig up on the back end of these coup attempts here. And if we can get some legitimate justice in our goddamn country. And stave off the criminal demons trying to amass the power. All right, and pimp out the government on the backs of the sheeple there who desperately want the free shit from the goddamn government. And, to the delight of the neocon, manipulating chessboard cretins to get out there and just continue the endless war forever. Hopefully, this investigation is going to blow up and ruin their little horseshit impeachment fund they have going on there. I guarantee they were planning on, getting this impeachment thing going and then ramping it up and ramping it up and ramping it up and then having Hillary swoop in and be like, oh my God, I told you he was a criminal. I'm here to save the day. I'm here to break the glass ceiling with my demon talons. Oh, my hooked vulture beak. Trying to come in and swoop in, after they built it to a fake-ass, media hysteria crescendo. Oh my God, we're taking him out, red alert. And then Hillary swoops in, That's their plan, but this could upset that whole fake-ass narrative. All right. If Durham and Barr can uncover some dirt that leads back, oh my God, the old treason there in Libya and Syria might be coming back to bite you. Barry? Hillary? We might have to wheel out the piranha tank. I'm not endorsing, Kim Jong-un's tactics here for taking care of, misbehaving government officials, let's say. The government officials. How about a piranha tank? I'm just saying, let's be fun. All right, just a couple times after we have, proven the crimes. I think it would be entertaining. Let's see. Tree says, what's Kevin Powered SoundCloud? It's under the name Cinematic. And there's the link to it. Special K7. Oh my goodness. Kevin Powered's out there working on the beats. Rodog says, I went to Florida once. I remember they had a few weird laws like pasties on the tits in strip clubs, and women 18 and over could get in clubs, but guys had to be 21. Oh yeah, that's that goddamn party culture, that goddamn bar hopping activity. Oh my God, I still have never been to a strip club. I don't exactly plan on it. I might engage with some after hours activity with the strippers now. But the club, that's not for the outrage chance. All right, cheers up to the outrage crew. A little bit of vodka hitter. All right, in support of our Russian should be allies over there. And they're props for your $4,700 investment into hacking our election. And don't worry, we don't like Hillary either. We didn't want war. All right, cheers up to the Rooskies and the outrage crew. Oh, yeah. Burgess says they use airboats. We also have ordinary boats. I never see kayakers. Oh, shit. Burgess says, I saw a Florida man try to rob a liquor store with an alligator once. The stories are true. Oh, maybe that was Burgess. All right, out there in the woods that Vanessa saw. All right, he was engaging in some, some satanic rituals there. Okay, he was out in the woods imagining, that Aleister Crowley and all the crew were surrounding him, and it was a big, climax to a ritual. And all you got to do is finish on this, on this sacrificial goat here. And Clean Talking John was there because he heard the goats had big asses, Oh my God, it was a party in the woods. Alan James says, donate dollar bills so Nick can go to a strip club. Yes, if you'd like to donate to the Outrage Chancellor Strip Club money throwing fund, all right, it's paypal.me/Outrage TV. I don't want to look like a small timer when I go up in there, dude. I want to have a fat roll of singles. All right, I'm gonna go in there and get the goddamn party started, dude. David says there's a satanic themed strip club in Los Angeles. Oh yeah, they think it's very, they all think it's very cute and very, very upsetting to the Christians. And it's like, this is what people don't get about the like censorship and vulgarity. Like, the Christians lost that war of censoring sex and language vulgarity. You can hear language vulgarity on cable TV. You can hear it. Everybody curses in the podcast. It's all uncensored. You can watch unlimited porn until the end of time for free on your goddamn cell phone. And so it's like they lost the battle of, of vulgarity. And, a lot of the leftists think that the angle is keep pushing that more into debauchery because they have no principles. And so they're like, oh, this makes us more liberated. If we could just get more and more debaucherous and hack our bodies up and do gender changes and hormonal, replacements. And, oh, this is more individual freedom. No, you're descending down into this weird, like, sacrificial thing of sacrificing yourself to this ideology of decadence and like just increasingly ramping up how like, oh, we're really pissing them off now. It's like the Christians already lost, dude. They don't give a fuck about this. Like, nobody in mainstream culture even gives a fuck if anybody is gay. It's not even a goddamn issue, but they just move right past gay marriage. They're like, oh, well, next thing up in line. But it's like they don't have any moral principles. And so that's where it goes. It goes to this weird, like, pushing the same boundaries that have already been broken down. And it's like they don't see the new boundaries that are the new censorship, which is the censorship of political correctness in the left and ideas. We have to censor, you because you believe the government should be small, and that's what gives all of our cronies power in order to make us rich. And so you can't talk about that now. That's the new censorship. And using these weaponized, loaded terms of racism and sexism to continually keep us at each other's throats while the government cretins make off with all the resources. Get them going at each other on the social media and divide and conquer through the goddamn endless competition of intersectionality. I mean, these people claim to be against capitalism and against, free market competition, but they're like, simultaneously competing for who can be the biggest loser and get the most progressive brownie points out of it. Oh my God, the black transgender disabled, midget wins again. But no, dude, the Outrage Chancellor, if anything, all right, he's going to get those stripper girls out of the club where they're, their place of work, and he's gonna get them out on a yacht style situation, and we're gonna have bottles of champagne, and we're gonna be popping them. Check them out now. We're gonna get on the Jay-Z Big Pimpin' activity, dude. That's how you do it. Out there on international waters. Bradley Murray says, not been able to put shit up. Got bad signal and police want to see me about my car, bro. So chilling till Monday. Sort it out then. That's why Bradley Murray didn't want to show his new car on the internet there. God damn it. He didn't want it to be traced out, you know. He didn't want to have that goddamn receipt, that footprint on the internet there. Oh, fuck. Bradley Murray, he's out there with, you know, stolen canoes. All right. Allegedly, you know, ill-gotten automobiles, you know. Oh, fuck. Aaron Freeman's talking about Burgess's mom dancing. Dude, we had one kid in our middle school and high school who there was one strip club in my hometown, Ponk City, Oklahoma, and it was called Sadie's. It was out on the edge of town. I guess you could say that that's a satanic themed, you know, strip club there. Sadie's. Satan's ladies. Oh boy. They're into some sadistic shit out there. But we had one kid in our middle school and high school who, that's what, you know, he was originally known for. His mom worked at Sadie's. And, you know, he was a tall dude with curly hair. And, you know, he was kind of socially awkward. But, you know, he steadily started lifting a bunch of weights. I think subconsciously to get people to stop talking shit about his mom. He fucking got super jacked, you know. He was in that weight room just getting some goddamn energy out, baby. Raw Dog says strippers let you rub their ass for $1. Not a bad little deal while drinking a beer and watching football. I don't know, dude. I don't know about that, dude. Alan James says, was his mom hot? I never went to check out, dude. I never went to check her out at the goddamn Sadie's. You know, and I didn't go over to that dude's house. His mom, you know, He didn't look like he was from the most extravagant gene pool ever, so I don't, you know, it was small town Oklahoma, so you can fill in the gaps, all right, for what, you know, your typical stripper is going to look like there. All right. I know she was in her 40s, all right, so there was some, you know, there was some ripening of the grape. But yeah, dude, we got some real deal political machinations going on underneath the surface here. We're living in a goddamn Tom Clancy novel. Oh, fuck. Bradley Murray says, they're trying to say you can't work for a full year and afford my car. So they're saying it proceeds of crime. Lad, fuck 'em, LOL. Oh my God, all the goddamn snoops are all over Bradley Murray's case, you know? They're like, oh my God, he can't afford this whip. Look into it. He's that limey pirate doing goddamn wheelies on our streets. It's all the same guy. He's the canoe thief. He's that one-eyed goddamn bandit. Dude, Bradley Murray and Michael Bisping, all right, are basically the same person leading different lives. All right, Michael Bisping, MMA fighter who got his eye wheel kicked into oblivion, and he's basically blind in one eye. And he won the middleweight UFC championship with one goddamn eye. Bradley Murray was hanging out with one of his homies, and they were cleaning his gun. You know, the gun went off and went into Bradley Murray's eye. And how you get shot into the eye and don't die, I don't know. That's the question for the, the limey outrage super pirate out there. But he's a resilient bastard. Came back to, defend Western civilization, take his little daughter on camping trips there, dude. See a canoe opportunity, you get on that getaway. You get on that Italian job. What up, Don Morgan? Oh, we just getting into the counter investigation here. Looking into the origins of the Russia hoax. All right, John Durham and William Barr. We hate depending on any goddamn politician. Any of these goddamn, deep state criminals. Any of these elected officials. But for now, we're all still tax cattle. We're getting our resources extracted, and this is what we've got to deal with. All right, and it looks like Durham and Barr are digging back in, and they're going to uncover some unfortunate facts, all right, about how this whole Russia canard got started. And it's not looking good for the Obamas or the Clintons. All right. They are fleeing the sinking ship. What's up, AJ? Hillary might have to run, so to try and overshadow this counter investigation here. Just change the subject. I'm running again. They're going to try to build up the fake media crescendo. Trump's going to get impeached. And Don Morgan says, oh, brother, you're still calling Russia a hoax. Oh, my God. He's very concerned about the $4,700 spent on Facebook for Facebook ads from the Russians. Oh, the vote flipping that occurred. Dude, if there's any kind of election meddling going on, all right, it can be found in the video I showed last night. Scott Fovel, the guy who worked for the DNC, was openly admitting it on Secret Hidden Camera, Project Veritas, James O'Keefe. Oh, yeah, we've been busting illegal immigrants around the states without voter ID for 50 years to beat you dumb fucks. Just laughing about it. Talking shit at the bar. Of course. Of course, we've been buzzing around the illegal immigrants and, having them vote for their nice little welfare gifts there. Of course. But yeah, so no look into that. But oh my God, the Russians imaginary, hacking. And Twitter sends me a message. Oh my God, you might have been duped by Russian propaganda. You've liked posts that were clearly shaping your consciousness and you couldn't make an informed decision, you tax cattle. Oh, you got duped by the Russians. It didn't take the Russians for me to see Hillary Clinton's goddamn obvious criminality and the deep state, spider webs encircling her. Kiki says, Obama endorsed beta freak Trudeau, but not his ex-vice president who is connected to a Ukraine scandal. What a loyal American, Don. Oh, yeah. It's funny that Biden's not getting the Obama endorsement. And then Biden's like, I asked him not to endorse me. We made a gentleman's agreement. I mean, after I sniffed his daughter, it got a little weird after that, didn't I? Even though he is, old fake kids Barry, we know those kids are fake. You're not pulling the wool over our eyes, dude. All right. Michelle Obama is a transformer. Those kids are fake. All right, these are just facts. Don Morgan says, so the FBI lied about Russians definitely interfering in the United States affairs, basically? Yeah, and the head of the FBI, James Comey, lied when he said that, he couldn't charge Hillary Clinton with any crimes based on her private server and all the classified information that got exposed to anybody and everybody across the planet who could hack into her very vulnerable server. When he said it was not grossly negligent, as is the criminal language, but extremely careless. I mean, we have differing moral standards for the government criminals and for the plebeian criminals. If you expose classified information as a private citizen, well, not gonna end up good for you. But we have the differing moral systems there, and Hillary Clinton skates on. And then James Comey, the director of the esteemed FBI, comes to Donald Trump with the Steele dossier in an open blackmail attempt. Oh, it'd be a real shame if this got leaked to the media, Donald. And Donald did what, rational-minded people elected him to do. He said, you're fired. And then that sent the successor, Andrew McCabe, into a, feverish, hysterical little hissy fit there. Oh my God, the criminality of getting rid of, James Comey and his illicit leaking activity and his blackmailing and scheming. So Andrew McCabe got with Rod Rosenstein behind closed doors and said, oh my God, we need an insurance policy. This man is mad. He's actually committing, he's actually holding criminals accountable for their activity. No. For their criminal behavior, he's actually holding them accountable. No. And it came out recently that Robert Mueller was looking for the FBI director job right before he got tapped to lead the investigation into Donald Trump. Oh, no sour grapes there. Dude, Bradley Murray is a goddamn legend. Okay, we got a video on Discord here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think I've seen this one. Is it the guy who needs to get to work? The male nurse? Oh, my God. Let's see here. Commuters turn on Extinction Rebellion as protesters target the tube. Oh, this looks like a different one. Okay, we'll check this out. Don Morgan says, all right, bro, keep it 100% with me. Is this whole thing an act? Like, do you put this character on after 3 a.m.? I see a smart guy in you, but you say stupid shit with no facts to back it up. So you're saying that Donald Trump is a Russian agent? Because that's what they didn't find. Through 2.5 years of investigation, with all these salacious accusations, and no truth behind it. Oh boy. And all the media hype. Oh, we've seen the evidence. And Adam Schiff, oh my God, we've seen the evidence. It's damning. Then all the talk of obstruction. Oh my God, Trump is claiming that he's innocent, and then we found no evidence and he's actually innocent. But how dare you claim your innocence? We can't have that. And if you can't see that the Russia hoax was a coup attempt, I don't know what to tell you, dude. The text messages came out, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Oh, the romance around taking out Donald Trump. Oh, we're gonna get him, baby. And then he sent her a goddamn Facebook video stroking himself. You know? He sent her a goddamn Brett Favre pic. He sent her that fucking Anthony Weiner. You know, oh my God, the romance. We're gonna take out the president who's calling out our crimes. Oh no. They had to launch the Russia investigation. Because Trump was gonna come in, and General Michael Flynn was on his advisory board. And he knew all about the funding and arming and training of ISIS in the Middle East under Obama and Hillary. He knew all about that. And he was going to get in there and help Trump to get out of the hornet's nest in the Middle East and get down to the root of what was happening in the fake Russia investigation and the FISA court spying and all the criminality therein. But they had to launch the Russia probe because they wanted to deflect from the actual content that was released in the WikiLeaks. That CNN gave the debate questions to Hillary, and Hillary has a public and private position, and she's making all these goddamn promises to the big banks and all of her speeches and everything. And oh my God, she's selling out influence through the Clinton Foundation. And just when she loses her political power, oh boy, the Clinton Foundation folds up. Looks like they weren't interested in providing any more aid, all right, to any more countries and helping the planet anymore because they had no political sway to do so. And so all that dried up, And they didn't want it to come out. The actual source of the WikiLeaks, not Russia, but an insider at the DNC named Seth Rich. Because the files were downloaded from a local location and were transferred at such speeds only accessible through direct access to the DNC computers through a flash drive or something of that sort. They were then released to WikiLeaks and spread for all of our viewing eyes. Seth Rich had the means, motive, and opportunity. He was a Bernie supporter, and we forgive him for his economic ignorance. All right, but seemingly a good-natured Bernie supporter who just wanted better for the country and didn't quite understand what was wrong with socialism, but it's fine. He saw what was going on and conspiring against Bernie and the DNC, and that wasn't fine with Seth. And then so in a moment of conscience, he leaks the email exchanges to Julian Assange, and they get posted. So they need a cover story to deflect from the content of the WikiLeaks. And they have to have Chris Cuomo go on CNN and say, it's criminal to read the WikiLeaks. It's criminal to read what the criminals are doing with the money they stole from you. Come on. They had to cover their tracks. And at the same time, they're spying on Donald Trump and they're scheming about how to take him down. And the left really doesn't like Russia anymore because they're a perfect example of what happens when a country ditches socialism and communism and moves over toward capitalism and Christianity. All right, Russia has been on a major upswing economically, and Putin, for all of his, criminal activity and all of his, thuggish behavior, has tremendous populist support in Russia and has instituted more of a capitalist outlook on things and more of a Christian outlook on things, and it has benefited Russia greatly. And so, oh my God, the left wants us to, go clash with Russia. Oh, and work with China, the communists. I wonder why. They're trying to collectivize government control. They're not trying to go the other way and give their tax cattle more individual freedom. No, we need one world government, yes, where we can all collectivize and get together and scheme and scam from the highest offices in the land. We want the EU, we want NATO, yes, we want the Bilderberg Group. We just want to sit alone in boardrooms and carve up the planet. Decide what the tax cattle will give us next. Oh, it's so tempting, isn't it? Just rule over the tax cattle, and have a good old time. And you have to convince them that the populist president that they just elected, in order to stop and pump the brakes on the cultural Marxist, tsunami rising up over the country, and the economic ignorance getting ready to swallow our goddamn economy like a damn whale shark. Dude, this is what the economic ignorance looks like that was about ready to goddamn envelop our country before we hit that, emergency, break in time of emergency button, and we reached in and grabbed the red fire extinguisher called Donald Trump. All right, this is the goddamn economic ignorance that was coming for America. I'm going to swallow it all up, dude. We're not having it. And whale sharks are really massive. I remember looking up, I had a brief stint where I wanted to be a marine biologist growing up. And I was in the the gifted and talented class where they separated me from the knuckle draggers in the public school there, and but it's not that threatening because it has no teeth. All right, it's gonna it's out there giving other fish spectacular blowjobs, presumably. I don't know what's going on. It's out there, swallowing the plankton. All right, it's not that threatening of a shark. Alan James says, did Nick even play the video? No. Nick did not play the video yet. God damn it. All right, we shall play the video when I return. I'm going to take another shot. I got to take an outrage piss. I shall return, ladies and gentlemen. What up, Clean Talking John? What's happening, baby? Cheers up to you. We got to get our goddamn suits together. We're supposed to be shooting this sketch coming up on Sunday. I have no goddamn idea where I'm going to get my fucking suit situation. Cheers up to the Outrage crew. Oh. We talking about who's racist? Oh my God, we're in the racist echo chamber here on YouTube. Oh my God. David says Nick said he really crushed it at Fourth Wall tonight. Fuck. Had a terrible set at Fourth Wall tonight, dude. I made the wrong goddamn room riff at the start of my goddamn set and it went off the rails. Motherfucker. And my material I had planned would have rocked it. You know, I would have rocked it with my goddamn material. I fucked it up trying to room riff and get cute. Alan James says, Sweet Chin, he puts up with Nick's racism because Nick has promised him the lead in Panther Tale. Oh my God. Well, if we ever get the financing... All right, fuck Hollywood. We'll make our own goddamn movie. And Clean Talking is perfect for Freddie Mac. All right, that's the main character in Panther Tale, you know. And Kevin DeWitt, the dude we met who does the voices for Danny McBride and Kenny Powers. You know, he's perfect for my script about the trailer trash white dude called Hillbilly Hey. All right, where he gets caught up in the goddamn CIA MK Ultra activity. And they try to dope him up to become a patsy. All right, and take out the president. All right, so we got, you know, I got friends that can be leads in my goddamn movies. I tried to get Eddie Murphy first. All right, Clean Talking was second on my list. Still waiting on that email from Eddie Murphy. And I did submit my... My Kill Bill shit, my Asian thriller, my female-led action thriller. All right, very progressive film. All right, I did submit it to, the International Screenwriters Association there, and, you know, the industry pro is going to look over it. And I've already had a damn manager tell me that script is viable. God damn it. And, you know, I went in and the interview was, you know... The interview was lackluster. I needed to take over the room more. You know, it was my first it was on my second Hollywood meeting. The first one, the very first thing Hollywood ever said to me was, you know, the guy had, requested the Panther Tale script. And the first thing he said to me when I met him, and he was a mixed race dude, because I'd been talking to him on the phone and everything. And I'd seen his picture and everything, and he'd been talking to me on the phone, and he read a little bit of Panther Tale. First thing he says to me when I see him, "Oh, I really thought you were going to be black." First thing Hollywood says to me. You know? And then I go in there and, you know, he's breaking down the script to Sean Merriman, the NFL player, looking to finance some shit, and, you know, the manager had not even read the script. All right, but he was trying to sell it. Don Morgan says Nick is basically the protagonist of Taxi Driver. Dude, I'm looking for, you know, something's going to come one of these days. Just wash away all the dirt on these streets. It's going to be the principles of Western civilization. All right, we'll wash away the dirt on the streets. Nobody likes the goddamn dirt on the streets. But speaking of, the first manager meeting I went to was in downtown LA, which is, you know, in some parts of it, you know, you have the Staples Center and you have LA Live, and then some parts of it looks like downtown Iraq. And thank you, Alan James, for the contribution there on the PayPal, paypal.me/Outrage TV if you want to contribute to the argument fund here. But yeah, I showed up and it was like, dude, some of these streets in downtown are just literal, like, Baghdad market status. Like these goddamn... What the fuck's going on, dude? These goddamn tent cities with the needles and condoms laying everywhere. And I showed up to the manager meeting with my, nice button-down blue check shirt and shit. And I was like all clean shaven and, spirited up. Oh, my first Hollywood meeting. I couldn't have looked more white, and I showed up, and I only found a parking space like 2 blocks down, so I had to, meander through the apocalypto cities to get to the goddamn brownstone where I was meeting the manager. And the manager didn't even acknowledge the destitute, third world level poverty right outside his goddamn door. He just opened the door, sidestepped a heroin needle, and it was like, oh, I was really thinking you were going to be black. Come on in. I guess. But the second manager meeting I had, a dude really liked my scripts and whatever. But I get another meeting, I'm going to go in there and take shit over and just dominate the conversation, because that's what they want. They want to be awed. They want to, I've heard Joey Diaz talk about going on auditions and how you have to, put yourself in stand-up comedy mode where the moment it has to be sharp and you got to bring people into the experience. And the same goes for a script meeting. And I went in there like, oh, I'm just going to befriend this guy and, find our commonalities, and then we're going to talk about our script, or talk about my script and what he liked about it, and just have a normal conversation about my script. But that's not what they want. They want you to put on a show and sell the script to them in the room. And there's all these stories I've heard on podcasts of comedians like Dane Cook just taking over, meetings and with network people. And it's like, there's a way you do it that's not imposing, but I've heard stories of Patrice O'Neal taking over shit and just starting to roast the guys and telling them why they don't understand what's funny and breaking them down and just burning the whole bridge within itself. You don't want to go that far, typically, but there is some merit in being honest. David says, between Nick and Clean, I usually come away with something about taxes and buttholes. Dude, we cover the gamut. All right, we're getting into, the criminality of the FBI and the CIA, and we're also looking at, PH fat sheep booty. But yeah, we need that independent goddamn financing for the script, and I'll put my comedian friends in the goddamn movie, and it'll be twice as funny anyway. Clean Talking says, what happened at the fourth wall tonight, bro? I just started my set off on a room riff that, some of the comics in the room that had already heard the joke, and it was just off. The joke about, no matter how many black girls I get with, I still, get called racist. And I'm like, my dick is in, They're like, didn't you say you were from Oklahoma? I'm like, the dick is in. My dick slipped out. She put it back in. Didn't you say you voted for Trump? That shit right there. And I started my set off with that because there was this vibe, the big joke at the fourth wall 10 o'clock is, oh, it's politically incorrect. You might hear some racist, misogynist shit, And it's like sometimes leaning into that goes well and sometimes it really doesn't. Clean Talking says, just show them nah. Well, I got to get that black running back, white quarterback bit to work because, I know Clean Talk is one of Clean Talking's goddamn favorite jokes. I got to get that shit up and running. All right, let's check out this video that Alan James posted. Commuters turn on Extinction Rebellion as protesters target the two. Oh my God. Extinction Rebellion. Is that the climate march? We've been hopped up on climate disaster propaganda by the esteemed government-funded scientists, and well, it's all coming to an end. Humans are a virus on the planet. We're mold on a sandwich. Apologize for your carbon footprint. Apologize for your exhalation. Hold your goddamn breath and lower that footprint, tax cattle. Can I get the full video in the goddamn frame here? All right. So we had a subway here. Individual standing on top of the subway. Looks like a melee ensuing. Oh shit, they're throwing food and drinks. I can't tell who is who. That dude in a suit is probably not a climate protester. I'm surprised these idiots don't have Joker masks on. I don't know what the fuck's happening. They dragged this dude off the top of the subway, this white dude in a suit, and they're kicking the shit out of him on the pavement. Oh, like a testy conversation there. What the hell is going on here? It's another dude on top of the subway. People are throwing shit at him, and then one of these hoodied up cretins gets on top of the subway and starts chasing him. What the fuck? This guy's wearing a goddamn flyer around his neck. It looks like he's one of the protesters. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell is happening. I need context. Oh, David says the guy who got pulled off the roof was a climate change guy. Oh, they're holding up the train by getting on the train. Okay. I mean, just let the train take off. What's the deal, dude? They want to lower their carbon footprint. What better way to manage the overpopulation and, you know, in their minds and help the planet than extinguish the rest of your carbon footprint that you would have created by living, you know, another 40 or so years? It's such a contribution. If that's how they want to contribute to the climate, let them commit suicide on the goddamn, on the trolley. You know? That's just, you know, natural selection at work. You let the ideology play itself out. If they think they are part of mold on a sandwich, let them behave like mold on a sandwich. All right? Nobody would stop the train if there was a moldy sandwich on top of the goddamn train. Queen Tongan says, what the fuck is this, a purge? It's you know, brainwashed people that have been hopped up on fake evidence about, oh my God, the climate disaster is impending. You know, what are we going to do? Doesn't it look dirty when the exhaust comes out of an exhaust pipe on a car? And oh my God, the oceans are going to boil over. The sea levels are going to rise and, you know... But Obama's not worried. He's buying beachfront mansions and everything. Bernie Sanders, you know, just waterside mansions, just erect them right up. They don't actually believe in the goddamn, you know, in the predictive capacity of computers, which is what the entire thing rests on, is the, you know, the nerdy computer calculations of a bunch of small-hatted government-funded individuals in a goddamn room. These are the same people who, you know, want to give consciousness to their sex robots, as I was breaking down before. They desperately, you know, it's the religion of nerds. It's the religion of atheist nerds to have this fantastical computing capacity that just surpasses any kind of human intelligence, any kind of rational thought.
Well, we have the computer predicted, it incorporated trillions of different factors into the algorithm here, and we've got it pretty well, we've got the climate pretty well pegged. We know what's going to happen in the future.
Well, what's happening with the local weather guy? He can't get shit right, this week. I mean, that's why people out here in California believe this shit. Is because the weatherman is always right here in California. Sunny again. Sunny again. The weathermen mean nothing here in Southern California because, they're always right. Them weathermen in Oklahoma, they would get shit wrong. They weren't getting the same data as the government-funded climate scientists who have these, fantastical supercomputers who could forecast into the future, and miraculously all their predictions have been wrong. But, it's fine. Well, they're going to give Al Gore a Nobel Peace Prize because, he's a good swishy-hipped Impossible Burger, in human form. All right? And, just as good as the Impossible Burger is for your nutrition, he's good for your consciousness. To sit and worry about the climate apocalypse because of your exhalation and your existence on this planet as a carbon-based life form. Damn you for existing. Apologize for it. And a lot of these climate-obsessed people just hate themselves and they wish they didn't exist. And so they're like, that's the big problem with the planet. I exist. And the people around them, that their friend groups are like, yeah, that is the problem. But, you're making a lot of bullshit assumptions about the climate. You do seem like a piece of mold. You don't contribute much. AJ says, have you seen the George Carlin bit on the weather? I'm sure I have. I can't recall it right now. But I know he talks about, the environmentalists and how, we're going to destroy the planet. Now the planet's going to be fine. The people are fucked. And that's what the Outrage Cast is about awakening the people to the fact that we're fucked if we don't get our shit together. We don't start letting governments grow up and rule over us and dictate the levers of power over us. And there's nothing better for a tyrant than making something up like climate change in order to demonize you for your carbon emissions. You're what's fucking up the planet. And so you have to reduce your industrial capacity. You have to shift over to unproven alternative sources of energy. And you have to abandon free market prosperity. We must put a throttling on what you can do. And it gives them an excuse to step into any other country's endeavors and be like, oh, you're not complying with the world government's climate accords. Oh, you're not cooperating. Looks like you're producing a little too much prosperity and wealth there. You don't have the government-approved stamp. So they can get in there and manipulate, dude. It's the perfect excuse to demonize any group of people. Oh, their carbon footprint. Oh, man. Oh, they are undoubtedly guilty of their expansion of their carbon footprint. We cannot tolerate it. They're one of these dirty humans. But the environmentalist religion is fundamentally anti-human. Because you have to weigh the negatives of the pollution of humanity that does exist. You have to weigh that against the creation and innovation and successes that humankind has achieved. Oh, we don't pay any attention to that. No, we're not, looking at the innovations and, economic ideas that led to prosperity and the small government principles that led to prosperity. No, we're not paying attention to that. No. We're not paying attention to the wonders of philosophy that have been, expounded upon in Western civilization and the inventions and, the industry and the ass kicking and the, cultural dominance. We're not paying any attention to that. We're not, categorizing human beings as creators and fundamentally creative. No. We are fundamentally mold on a sandwich. And that's how these people feel because they're not creating anything meaningful. They're not contributing to the human experience as they could. That's why they're depressed, why they hate themselves, and why they, get more sad when a puppy dies than a goddamn human being. And they eat Impossible Burgers and think they're virtuous as they're consuming plants from which they're where they were harvested. There was, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of animals that were, killed by the goddamn agricultural activity. If you're alive, life has died to keep you alive. You can't escape it, whether you're a goddamn vegetarian or a meat eater. All right, one more shot, ladies and gentlemen. One more shot. Oh my God, are we speculating on Vanessa's ethnicity here? And it's the marker of a horseshit propaganda campaign when they lead children out to lead it. Oh, Greta Thunberg, she's the proper leader. Let the children make the policy. Oh, cheers up, Outrage crew. Let's, we got a request from AJ, George Carlin, hippy dippy weatherman. Oh, dude, I like this era of George. I like the original Class Clown shit and the AM/FM. Carlin had this orator voice, and he would lead you into the bits very casually. And just take a stroll through the mind of George. Dude, he was tremendous.
I wanted to do a nostalgic thing here for my own sake and for the request of a couple of people that are on the crew that listen or look and through viewers or listening on headsets or whatever. And do a little weather forecast from Al Sneed. What's happening? Que pasa? Que what you call your pasa? Al Sneed here, hippy dippy weather, man. With all the hippy dippy weather, man. Brought to you by Parsons Pest Control. Do you have termites, water bugs, and roaches? Well, Parsons will help you get rid of the termites and water bugs and help you smoke the roaches.
Meanwhile, very productive advertising, all right, much better than the SSRI advertising we have with our news today.
Temperature at the airport is 88 degrees, which is stupid, man, because I don't know anybody who lives at the airport. Now, if you'll take a look at our national weather map, you'll see that we don't have one. So try to picture last night's map in your mind. Remember all the letters and lines, all them little numbers. The weather's dominated by a large Canadian low, which is not to be confused with a Mexican high.
All right, we got the goddamn weed jokes in there, baby. Dude, that's the thing. The goddamn the drug propaganda is still reigning supreme. All right, we're making headway with weed, but now they've shifted over to the more tyrannical thing of guns. Let them smoke their weed, but oh my God, we need some gun control. All right, and we need some carbon control, and we need children to push it. Greta and David Hogg, get out there. Hansel and Gretel, the public trusts you. Oh my God, you're like a little Bonnie and Clyde for the deep state. Isn't it cute? Let's get married and, have a be lawfully wedded in your propaganda. And get out there and convince the public, convince the public to hand in their firearms and just submit to the government and trust the government-funded scientists and don't look at the predictions yourself. They're just scientists. All right? It's not, science isn't a living process dictated by the scientific method that needs to be continuously refined and verified. No. It's a competition of authority. Oh, it's a submission to the authority of the white lab coat? And you give the white lab coats the government funding, you give them the conclusions they are to come to, and oh my God, you start cooking up the fantastical video game creations of the climate science, and oh my God, we have the future predicted. If you had a computer that predicted the future, you would not give a fuck about the climate. I'd be getting into stocks. I'd be getting a yacht. And tripling my goddamn money every day. Looking at the stock charts for the next day. I'd be getting goddamn Instagram models flowing out, dude. That's what you would do if you had a future predicting computer, dude. You'd be on a yacht getting your dick sucked. You would not be, pretending to know things about the climate. Alan James says, Nick, are you taking call-ins? Well, if I'm taking call-ins, I'm probably going to dip into the beer here. And I don't know if I want to dip into the beer. All right, I've had 2 of these goddamn caffeine things. I had one before the mic and then one when I got home at the start of the stream. Had a little bit of weed. I've had 3 shots of vodka. And I got a Coors Tall Boy in there. I don't know if I necessarily want to dig into the Coors Tall Boy. All right, but it is tempting. I might need a donation from the Outrage crew. All right, in order to dip into, the Coors Tall Boy and sacrifice some neurons here. The Sacrificial Neuron Fund. All right, it's paypal.me/Outrage TV. Florida Secretary says, outrage, change of subject. Family thug speaks out on their disappointment of clerk stopping. All right, let's check this out. Just because Florida Stacker posted it. All right, I trust Florida Stacker here. He's a bad motherfucker. Let's see what's going on here. All right. So here's a little interview. All right. Looks like Dayton, Ohio, out in front of a Dollar General. Being from Oklahoma, I know the Dollar Generals well. All right. They're the supply of those, Midwestern people's dollar store needs. You get in there and get the essentials. And we have a black dude here with an Abraham Lincoln beard situation happening. All right, his mustache is very far away from connecting to the beard. It's very, it's making me Islamophobic. All right, and we have what appears to be either his sister or his mother clapping into the camera, making a point here. Let's see what's happening.
These siblings are furious. Their brother, who police say was an armed robber, was gunned down by a store clerk. The pair acknowledges that he was wrong for Roosevelt Rapley to try and rob the Dollar General on North Gettysburg Avenue, but they say the clerk shouldn't have had a gun at work.
Oh, dude. God damn it. Oh my God, dude. This is like a microcosm of everything. How dare you defend yourself? How dare you not submit to my goddamn violent encroachment? It's the government in a microcosm, dude. My God, I wish I could make this louder. I don't know if it's coming through for the Outrage crew. Let me see if I can adjust the volume mixer. Yeah, we were down a little bit. Let's make it a little louder here.
Rochelle and Juwan Rapley say their younger brother, Roosevelt Rapley, was the second of 10 siblings killed by gunfire.
I still don't believe it. Like, at the end of the day, I don't believe my brother is dead. It ain't kicked in yet.
And they're furious about how it happened.
At the end of the day, that's not right.
Police say a Dollar General clerk shot and killed 23.
Just let him get his Mr. Good bars he came in there wielding the weapons for. All right? He wants his goddamn candy. God damn it. Give him his candy. How dare you defend yourself?
Year-old Roosevelt, who showed a gun and demanded cash Wednesday.
Witnesses indicated.
Oh, he wanted the candy and the cash. Oh, my God. You should have just gave it up, you cock. Let him take over. Why are you not letting him take over, dude? How dare you have a spine?
The weapon was brandished and pointed at employees.
The siblings recognize their brother's wrongdoing.
He got some responsibility, but not all.
But they say that still doesn't warrant the clerk's actions.
Right and wrong is wrong. That was wrong for that clerk to shoot my brother in the chest. Yes, he's robbing now. Oh, well. Police, that's your supposed to do. Y'all not supposed to take matters in your own hands. If that's the case, I'll take matters in my own hands.
Police say the clerk was legally allowed to have the gun. Meanwhile, officers are looking into the possibility Rapley may have been involved in several other commercial robberies.
Oh, boy. This is why, we can't have nice things in the goddamn hood. All right? We can't have small business entrepreneurship because of this goddamn attitude. It was just a little hobby. It was his goddamn robbing activity. Jesus Christ. He was just getting his practice in. He had just played a little Grand Theft Auto, he was getting into it. I mean, he was just in his goddamn, robbing training wheels, and you got to take him out. Just be nice to the, to the robbing at gunpoint. Why do you gotta, don't be racist about it. It's racist for you to defend yourself, dude. Are you not with the goddamn diversity agenda? They didn't even allude to what the goddamn ethnicity of the shopkeeper was. I bet he was an Asian dude. I don't know, dude. It was Dayton, Ohio. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's very goddamn unfortunate. The culture of criminality that gets proliferated. All right, and it's not being disincentivized enough. All right, if these people had legitimate job opportunities, I don't think they would be getting into this shit. They just want some money. They want to be flossing like everybody else. They want to show up to the goddamn club, with their 22-inch ramps. They want to, what you gonna do when I bend the block? Pull up on the spot in a brand new drop. Speakers on blast with tremendous knock. That's what they want, dude. They want that E40. Trying to get to you in that booty. That's the thing. He wanted to empty that cash register and go and get some pussy, They wanted to floss a little bit. And that's the American dream. But that's the wrong way to go about it. Come on, dude. The damn Dollar General. Come on, brother. David says, I don't know how the TV presenters kept a straight face on that one. How you could not react to such absurd claims. Well, dude, you know, some people take that shit serious when you come in brandishing the firearm there. You know, gotta have a little deterrent. I need some damn water here. Alan James says, it's like the let's not burn our stuff, our weaves down, go and do it in the white neighborhoods. Yeah, after, what was that? Missouri? Whatever, what was it called? The fucking town in Missouri where that shit happened. And they were just looting and burning down and rioting. You know, after, you know, the latest police disaster. Ferguson, Missouri. And then they proceeded to start burning down their own goddamn neighborhoods. God damn it. But yeah, it's not about the goddamn skin color of the individuals. It's about the predatory nature of the goddamn welfare state on these communities and the disincentives leading to a lack of business development, leading to a culture of crime, and the goddamn absentee father situation and the single motherhood is rampant because it's incentivized. I don't think there's anything inherent, all right, to you know, to black people in general that leads to these situations. I think there's a million different factors, you know, a lot of them environmental, a lot of them, you know, historical trauma passed down to the generations, and a lot of government intrusion and hoodwinking propaganda, all right, and a lot of low quality public schools, a lot of, you know, lack of economic development in these neighborhoods because individuals don't want to start businesses in these neighborhoods because they might get shot up or goddamn burned down. Oh my God. Alan James says Nick doesn't want to talk to me. What do you want to call in, buddy? The Skype is open. If you want to call in, I don't know how much energy the Outrage Chancellor has left. Unless I tap into that beer. You know. Let me take an outrage piss here real quick. And I shall return. gentlemen. All right, the call lines are open. Fuck it, we're getting into the Coors Light. The Outrage crew shamed me into it. You shamed me into it. All right. Brain cells being eliminated for Western civilization. No, I actually feel pretty good. All right. Now Morgan says, Nick watched the debut of Shockmaster.
What in the fuck?
Oh, yeah. The fucking... Oh my god, I listened to this on the goddamn Legion of Skanks one time. They broke this professional wrestling clip down. It was this big reveal of the new wrestler, and they had a bunch of the big wrestlers on to promote it. Dude, they had Ric Flair here. The Nature Boy, styling and profiling. Oh my god, nice cars and, you know, private jets, jet setting, hot Nature Boy, styling, profiling down that aisle. Oh boy. Woo!
Hey, no. I want you to shut your stinking mouth. You shut up and you do it.
They had Sid Vicious in there, who was always, you know, not charismatic and always annoying with his goddamn screaming activity and you know, scrub brush of a haircut. All right, that's that goddamn big old 6'8" scrub brush mullet right there, dude. Had the golden locks flowing. He was always a bit killer. All right, he had Harlem Heat in there.
Before you get carried away, who their special tag team partner is, brother, you gotta cool down.
Special tag team partner, here he comes.
Now you shut up. I'll cool down when I want to, Sting. It's the world because he is none other than the Shack Master. All right. The Shack Master.
And for audio listeners, all right, there's an individual with a goddamn, you know, sparkly Jason mask situation happening here. He's very overweight, all right, and the plan was to break through the drywall and have a dramatic entrance, and he seems to have tumbled straight on his big dummy. Oh, my God, dude. Just a straight-up faceplant for his fucking entrance as the new character on the WWF here. And oh my god, they were super hyped up, and Ric Flair didn't say anything. He knew what was coming. And his fucking stupid hat falls off. Oh my god. This is before you had to be considered any kind of athlete to be a pro wrestler. You just had to be kind of fat and built. All right. You know? Oh my god. This motherfucker has eaten incredible amounts of muffins. He's got that front butt poking that goddamn, you know, zipper out, dude. With the, it looks like he's got, you know, drapes taken off of a fucking wall here for his costume, and some acid wash jeans and a glittery belt to go with his stupid fucking stormtrooper glitter helmet. These like makeup people, they seem like they're the same makeup people that you know had the Gary Oldman Dracula. Just going way too over the fucking top, you know. Like, who are the people that are signing off on these goddamn decisions? Alright, and Google Images is gonna fuck with me and not let me see the goddamn image. There we go, dude. Right there. Alright, the goddamn makeup and costume, they're just lost. And the crowd is in shock what they just saw. And Sid Vicious is the only one who keeps trying to sell the bit after that disastrous rollout, dude. That's an epic disastrous rollout, all right? He was never back on the WWF after that. I think they scrapped the Shockmaster there. Oh my God! And this made me think of the sketch or the skit from the Choices 2. The 3-6 Mafia. I was listening to this in the goddamn gym the other day. And they don't have the skits. Skit. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I want to see a man kill yourself to all.
I want to send a kill yourself out to the Shockmaster out there.
Y'all niggas out here tongue kissing strippers. Nigga, y'all need to be shot repeatedly. I want to send another kill yourself to all y'all niggas making sure these hoes nut, fucking these hoes 8 hours. Nigga, why? Nigga, don't be fucking these hoes. Y'all making it hard on me. Nigga, I don't be fucking these hoes. I fuck these hoes 30 seconds. They get a good 12 pumps. A good 12 pumps. And then they'll see me tomorrow. Come now, come when I come back. So to kill yourself, y'all niggas walk around with tongue rings in your tongue. Nigga, you a grown ass man. Ain't damn nigga should have a tongue ring in his mouth. Nigga, kill yourself. Send another kill yourself to all y'all niggas out here with stomach chains on. Nigga, kill yourself.
There's at one point he says, I want to send a kill yourself to built fat niggas. Like the Shockmaster there. So to kill yourself out there, you know, just a friendly reminder. Oh my God. Oh shit. Yeah, dude. Just the fake bravado of the professional wrestlers is funny enough for the male soap opera there, but then when things go disastrously wrong and they got to continue the bit, it's just magical. The beat says, you drink and you dance for us, Nick. Yes, I am, I'm the Outrage Jester boy here. All right, dancing and drinking for the delight of the Outrage crew. All right, don't make me get on my MC Hammer activity. Okay? What would your pro wrestler name be, Nick? It's obvious. I'm clearly the Outrage Chancellor. And I would I would divide and conquer among the wrestlers there, and I would get in there like NWO and just cause mayhem and havoc and blame all my hijinks on all the wrestlers sworn enemies and play them off against each other. All right, as I profited as the Chancellor Tyrant, and I would get close with the chairman of the board there, and they'd have a no chance. But I do, even as a stand-up comedian, I do want to at least do one cycle of mild anabolics. Because I idolized Hulk Hogan, growing up, and I want to get some goddamn pythons developing for no goddamn reason. I want to, I want to be large and in charge for Western civilization. I gotta, I'm working on sculpting the musculature. All right, we're probably getting in the gym back tomorrow night. We're putting on the goddamn weightlifting gloves. All right, even as they're steadily being torn. All right, my weightlifting gloves, the finger holes, they're getting torn out. All right, because I'm doing such, savage workouts for Western civilization, and all the debris from the explosions that go off behind me, and the crew of the people that work at Planet Fitness trying to apprehend me for setting off the lunk alarm, but they can never get a hold of the Outrage Chancellor. They can never outpoint me. They always lose on the cards. David says you would need a no taxation wrestling move. Well, I imagine it would be like a like a front kick of sorts, like kind of like how you would do to the IRS agent who shows up unwanted at your place. Just open that door and ha! You know, I got to demonstrate, you know, the front kick capacities here. Now, the key to the front kick and getting some thrust in it is you want to get your hips into it. All right, and take this from the theoretical John Wick, all right? You want to get some hip, it's all about the hip thrust into the front kick, all right? And so to get the, you don't want it to be, the push kick, because that has less power, all right? You don't want just the push kick, because that, you want it to have some snap to it, all right? So it's all a coordinated, it's a hyper athletic move you make with your hips in coordinates with rising the leg, and it's all very complex, and don't try this at home. This is for the theoretical John Wick to do, but I'm just demonstrating for the, you know, for people like James Thompson out there, the martial arts experts, all right? It's very intricate timing with the hips. You have to have dancer's hips like the Outrage Chancellor, all right? And you bring the knee up, and you snap! You snap that kick when they least expect it, dude, and you, BAM! You know, and then you pull it back because you don't want the wrestler to catch your kick, all right? The kick is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous proposition with a wrestler. They could grab it and upend your stupid ass. So you got to be quick with the shit. Boom! And hit that snap kick, dude, with that hip thrust. And the Outrage Chancellor, he's you know, he studied martial arts intricately by himself in his kitchen, all right, for, you know, for many a night. So it's not for the faint of heart, you know, the front snap kick. But it is very effective, all right? It is very effective. And that's what you do to the IRS agents, all right, when they come to your door. And it is kind of similar to, you know, I am plagiarizing from Hulk Hogan a little bit, all right, the big boot to the face. But that was kind of a, you know, wait and see type of thing. You know? That was kind of a put your boot up there and have them run into it. All right, the front snap kick is very much more advanced. All right, it's that outrage kick. That's the Chancellor kick. All right, taking out the IRS agents at your goddamn door. By the way, that Choices 2, dude. When you listen to this shit at the gym, we're gonna play, you know, just a little snippet. When you listen to this shit at the gym, you get an extra couple of reps out, dude.
3-6, but we up. That's for all you motherfucking hoes in the motherfucking club. Running around here, clown, mug, like y'all some motherfucking places. Nigga, y'all some motherfucking hoes. And nigga know you from the hood, nigga. And we gonna show you what's really real. Nigga. For real, bitch. Yeah, I rock. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I put your body in a feel. Here I go, bitch, nigga, fuck with me. Fuck with me. Here I go, bitch, nigga, fuck with me. Fuck with me.
Dude, the Choices 2, the 3-6 Mafia. All right, those motherfuckers go hard. And before all the mass shootings started, they had a song called Shoot Up the Club. All right, they got that song called One Hit a Quitter. It's that one hit a quitter. Yeah, dude, that's that outrage front snap kick. Looks like we're debating on the ethnicity of Don Morgan's parents. Oh my God. Burgess is trying to extend an olive branch to Don Morgan here. Chill, bro. Hang out with us. And Kiki says, Burgess, stop acting like a damn Christian. See, Burgess is down for the principles of Western civilization and about universal principles and bringing everybody in to be included. All right. He just likes to, you know, close his eyes and beat off in the woods and pretend like he's, you know, engaging in a satanic ritual. you know, and it's very, you know, it's very unproductive. And we would, you know, we would suggest to him, you know, maybe getting engaged otherwise in society. Maybe, you know, bearing a cross and staggering uphill. Something to that effect, dude. You got to prevent breast cancer one way or another. And we're hopeful. We're very goddamn hopeful. Raw Dog says, I grew up on Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Chuck Norris, and Seagal. I went back and watched a lot of that shit, but I did not grow up with it. Because I was born in 90. And so when I started watching TV, I don't know, what were the big movies? It was like Jurassic Park that I was obsessed with. Let's see, what were the first movies that I was really getting into? I was a weirdo kid. I liked going and watching those Saw movies. We went and saw, you know, most of the Saw movies in goddamn we saw the first 3 Saw movies in theaters, I think. And then, let's see, I saw The Longest Yard. That was a good one to go with your high school homies and just a big crew. We went and saw the goddamn remake of The Longest Yard. But the action movie era, that badass 80s action movie era, unfortunately had already ended by the 90s. So I didn't grow up on any of that shit. But I went back and scoped it all out. I love Last Action Hero. That was 1993. That's like looked at, ironically, as, you know, kind of the end of an action, you know, big, ridiculous action movie era. You know, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is just this big caricature of a action hero, and the kid gets you know, the magic ticket that sucks him into the movie and everything, and he's rolling around with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody's welcome in the Satanist tent. Just, you know, keep your beating off out of the public. All right? We don't want to see your goddamn, you know, Aleister Crowley, you know, machinations in public. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see you, you know, spilling your goddamn demon juice on the goddamn picnic table in the rest area. Dude. Out there, you know, shooting off in the swamp and creating mutant alligators. That's how goddamn comic books begin, dude. Some Satanist, you know, shoots a load in the swamp, and then, you know, the alligators consume it and transform into, you know, reptilian, demonic, psychopathic killer gators. We can't have that, dude. We gotta control what we can control. Get out of the swamp. Stop beating it in public. You're scaring people like Vanessa, just out there trying to canoe around. Burgess says Aleister Crowley was a pervert. He is not a part of my order. Burgess's order. Are you down with the order? Have you grown your hair past shoulder length? How many tank tops do you have in your collection? Dude, how many Phil Collins songs do you have in your playlist? Oh, let's go to Discord voice here. Let's see what's cracking. right. I think I'm in here. What's happening?
Oh. Do you have in your... Okay, so it's Nick here.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's happening, Mr. Nick Jordan?
Oh, you know, same shit. Just looking into what the criminals are up to and talking about Burgess's unfortunate, public display of flagellation there.
And his collection of tank tops.
Of course. Very important
We got Vanessa in here.
Hi, Nick.
How are you doing? It says Vanessa the Saint. Is that
Yes.
ironic, or do you uphold to that standard there?
No, it's definitely ironic, but it's also like part of my last name, so a twofer.
Beautiful. Well,
What'd you say?
I said beautiful.
Oh.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
I don't know what the hell Sweet Chin is posting in the damn Discord here. Looks like I don't know what flag that is. Is that just a Jewish
You don't
star?
know what flag that is.
Is that Israel? I guess it would
It's
be
for
Israel.
masters, dude.
I need to study my goddamn flag, symbols.
They didn't teach you who you were meant to beg for?
Well, dude, I still need to get the MAGA yarmulke. All right, I still need to get the Jewish star from my goddamn chain. All right, it's a work in progress. We're working into the Jewish conspiracy. And Aaron Freeman called me a goyim, and it's very appropriate.
So Vanessa, how's your week been?
Busy, pretty much, so I'm glad for the weekend. What about you guys?
Yeah. So you, obviously I saw your Instagram, you write articles for basically tracking internet, websites, all that sort of stuff.
Well, that was just for like my company. Like we are pretty big in like digital marketing agency, so they asked us to write an article. But basically, I just write like for all of our companies that hires us. Like Ripley's, believe it or not, is one of our biggest clients. So we do like their blogs and like their digital marketing, and then I also write political articles, and then I'm like writing a book. I do like a lot of stuff, and then I'm writing like a bunch of stuff in like economics. That's where my degree is in.
Oh, so what's your
Oh, so you?
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I was just saying. So that works in coordinates. So are you writing like for Ripley's Believe It or Not about Believe It or Not, the deep state coup again?
No, they won't let me do anything political just because that's like too big of a hot topic right now. And that would like alienate, I'm pretty sure, at least half of their audience. They're just like more like the weird stuff, like the shrunken head and like the mummies they find and stuff, which is like mad cool or like really interesting because we do have one in Orlando that I've gone to see, and I've traveled to like a bunch of the other ones that they've done just to get like research on what they have and then sort of write about that. So that part's cool. But like I have like 3 or 4 like stuff that I'm doing, separate things I'm doing. It's just all involves writing, but it's just different topics in general.
Well, that's magnificent. I can see why you're interested in the drunk rantings of the outraged chancellor. All right, who has is just,
well, I have insomnia, so I'm never asleep because I always am writing. I was writing right before you came on because it was 3 o'clock when we started.
So why not listen to crazy white boys rant about economics and government criminality?
Because that would take a while to get monetized on YouTube, and I already get paid for that just to write about economic stuff. So just like guest spotting on a bunch of like smaller newsletters or like digital newspapers and stuff. Like I get paid for that, so I just do it there. And then I'm doing like I have like my own business I'm running also.
Can you help Nick promote his channel?
His YouTube channel, I can. It's gonna be expensive though, but I can.
That's all right. Nick's got a ton of money.
He's got a ton of money. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
He can get that Postmates money.
Oh, I got some fresh tires on the hatchback. All right, we got the money rolling in. It's just like magic. And I was just laughing. David says, "LOL, Nick didn't know the Israeli flag." And then Raw Dog says, "Nick's a public school graduate from Oklahoma." I was in Gifted and Talented. God damn it. We moved past the goddamn... I'll leave symbols to the symbol-minded. All right, as Carlin said, all right, I was in there studying the goddamn whale shark on my Gifted and Talented activity. I was reading Harry Potter, dude. I was getting a strong education in the Oklahoma Gifted and Talented there. God damn it. Yeah. But you know that's cool. So you got a lot of different plates spinning there. That's tremendous. I'm trying to balance making rent money, getting on stage, and getting on the live stream here talking shit. And it's an enjoyable balancing act. But I know if you've seen the sketches, that dude Kevin Bennett with the big beard.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he writes articles online for money. And
nice. It's actually a pretty easy gig. It's just a lot of people don't want to do, which is surprising.
Yeah, I hire people to write articles online.
What do you do?
Alan James has a whole propaganda factory. All right, and
I work in basically web design, SEO, online marketing. So.
Oh, cool. Marketing as well?
Yeah, well, online marketing, so.
Yeah.
And he's doing his best to encourage the outraged chancellor to follow suit. But, I'm very bad with my goddamn promotion. And
I think Kiki in the chat works in similar sort of stuff. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Kiki should hop on. What is she doing?
Oh.
Yeah, she outsources people.
No, Kiki would have to ask Burgess if she's allowed him.
Yeah, Kevin Bennett is hilarious. That's what he does for money. He writes technical articles. And, he is getting paid stand-up gigs after that America's Got Talent clip that went kind of viral there. And he just rides around in his RV with his cat. He's that renegade, dude, from Wyoming. I met him at Flappers Comedy Club up in Burbank in L.A. And we just got to talking at the bar, and started agreeing with each other about everything with politics. And then I was like, "Fuck, dude, we should do a sketch or something." And I had just met Igor. Who came out here to be a filmmaker, and he was putting shit together, but they're all doing their own independent thing here, and we're trying to get back to the sketches. Me and Clean Talking got a little thing set up. We're trying to do something on Sunday. Well, we got to get some Men in Black costumes.
Why does John need to wear a black costume?
Have you seen Men in Black, Alan James?
I've seen heaps of black men.
God damn it. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, all right, the goddamn Alien movie.
So John's going to put a suit on for the first time in his life.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, actually, no. The other time was when he went to court.
Yeah. When you got to handle a little court dispute there. But that dude who does voices for Danny McBride, he looks kind of like an alien. And so we're going to investigate him for his potential alien goddamn identity.
What's going on with Florida Stacker in the chat?
Let's see.
Oh no, you said something about white voice.
Ah, Vanessa, you're putting on white voice.
I'm planning on using white voice, as he says.
Uh,
Yeah. So I'll switch. I was gonna switch back for him.
Or is he saying I'm putting on white
Yes, you
voice?
can understand. Oh, maybe you're putting on white. Maybe we both, all three of us, should switch back just so he can better understand what we're saying. Maybe he's having a hard time.
Well, he's fairly old.
Is
But he is down there in Florida.
Speak
He's probably
slower.
around the corner from you, Vanessa.
He probably is. That would be funny.
I mean,
Vanessa,
Vanessa,
give you a Superman coin.
Vanessa, it's very condescending for you to come on here and use white voice. All right, what's next? You're gonna pull some.
It is.
You're gonna pull some suntan lotion out of your purse, like you're Hillary Clinton with her hot sauce.
Like Hillary, I do carry suntan lotion all day. Actually, I don't even carry any lotion. I'm bad about that. I need to do that. I'm always walking around like I'm real ashy sometimes.
Are you?
I live in I need to work on that.
That's such a black word, ashy.
I really am on the legs, and I'm always wearing shorts too, so that's pretty bad. I need
It's
to work on that.
It's an affliction that white people know nothing about. All right, we do have the dry.
Well, actually, some of you guys do get ashy. You guys just don't really pay attention to it.
That is
I've
true.
noticed.
That is true. The outrage chancellor's his elbows, they can get a little dry, they can get a little cracked, they can get a little neglected there. All right, but
You
you
should
know,
see Nick's knees.
dude, no, we are not getting ashy. All right, the outrage chancellor has beautiful, very soft skin. All right, it's magical to the touch. All right, it's magical to the touch. Burgess says, if I made money writing too, but they were all romance. I made money writing too, but they were all romance stories. Nothing technical. You see me out in the woods, and my hair is flowing in the wind, and you turn away at first because I'm masturbating in public, but then you look back a second time, and you're like, maybe I should do an Instagram selfie, and you paddle your canoe over to the shores, and you investigate further. I tell you I'm into Satanism, and you get very intrigued, and I'm very mysterious to you, and you inquire further, and then dude, then we carry on
writing some of that Harry Potter fan fiction.
Oh, dude, should be writing for Hillary Clinton's campaign there. You're gonna do the Steele dossier, all right? With the goddamn.
Actually, if you do want to make money, like really fast money, you can write those romance novels. Like they sell really well on Amazon for some reason. Like women love, like the middle-aged women love buying those.
You mean like
one of the publishers told me that.
Kiki and Nicole?
What?
You mean like Kiki and Nicole? They snap those up? No?
Oh. Are they middle-aged? I feel bad. I don't know.
Well, this is.
They do.
I was being generous.
Oh my God.
This is what the entire outrage cast is it's one big, video romance novel to the truth. All right, because we get on here and we romance the truth. Like Antonio Banderas.
I'm talking like Fabio, like on the cover and stuff. Those sell like millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, you got the long flowing hair there. But it's this. It's this when we romance the truth. I mean, it's kind of like this. Oh yes, baby. We're coming for the truth. The deep state, they're not going to stop us. Oh no. You're trying a deep state coup. We're not going to fall for it. Oh, we're not down for the cultural Marxist agenda. Oh no, baby. Oh, we know our economics, baby. Oh, we're romancing the truth. Oh, we're strumming and we're dancing. You know what it is, baby. Oh, we're coming. We know the truth. We're not letting the deep state take over the cultural Marxist, the intersectionality. We're not standing for the social justice, political correctness. No, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God. We're not standing for it, dude. We're romancing the truth. You know what it is. We're doing a goddamn video blog for romance.
So Vanessa, when are you heading to LA?
When am I coming to LA? When you guys, or when they pick up like the needles and like the shit, and they lower taxes and they lower their gas and they get rid of Newsom. So never.
Well, we're working on that. I mean, I keep talking about taxes on stage, and you know they're gonna start listening.
So you need.
Right.
Well, Nick's in need of a roommate. I know if
Is
you're
Heather
interested.
leaving? I thought they were kidding. I thought Dom was kidding.
You can see the room on the video. A nice open space.
I heard it was expensive in LA.
Nah, it's not that expensive.
Nah.
If you're living with Nick, you don't
It's
even
like a
have to pay rent.
homelessness problem, but it's not that expensive.
If you're living with
Actually,
Nick, he won't even ask you for rent, so it's fine.
oh, okay. So it'll be that arrangement, that kind of arrangement. I don't know. I think I have a.
Kind of
like-
arrangement.
I think I have like 4 lines of revenue that's going to be able to afford me the place I want to live in DC, which is where I want to go because that's where politics is, and I love politics.
Oh my
And I
god!
live in Florida, in Orlando.
Oh my
which
god!
is already pretty expensive.
You
and I
want to
can
go
afford it
into
by
the
myself,
swamp? You want to go into the
So I can afford
swamp?
myself. The swamp, yeah, I do. I know a lot of people talk shit about talking about politics, and it is horrible, but I fucking love it. It's horrible, 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 and that's exactly where I want to be for some reason.
Well, that's interesting because Igor, the director I was talking about, he is from Washington D.C., so he's had an up close view of the criminals for a long time, and I love being in L.A. because I get a front row to the crazy show in terms of ideas. But you know, DC is where, you know, those ideas are getting implemented and where the halls of power are. So that's a whole nother fascination. I still haven't been up to the Northeast portion of the East Coast. I've been, or the Southeast Coast. I've been, the only East Coast city or state I've been to is South Carolina. And
I heard that South Carolina's beautiful. Actually, I probably would visit there. I wouldn't say that just because it seems pretty sleepy. And I like the cities, so I probably would go like DC. I've been to New York, but New York smells like shit. Like at least the main city does or whatever. So
oh my god,
I'm not going there. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out New York, of course, just for the stand-up scene. But yeah,
yeah, that's a good point.
But I went to South Carolina on a vacation with the fam, and I was about 8 or 9 years old, and my first interaction with the ocean, that Atlantic Ocean there, all right, me and my grandma were hanging out on the beach, and I waded out in the ocean, and I immediately got stung in the dick by a jellyfish. All right.
Really?
Something stung the Outrage Chancellor. All right, and I had to get back on the beach real fucking quick. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. All right, it was never identified, but I'm assuming it was a goddamn jellyfish sneaking into the situation, and it let me know I was not where I needed to be. And I did.
So you're more of a West Coast person?
Well, it would seem empirically. All right, but I want to go check out that East Coast. I did go fishing off the pier there with my pops, and I did catch a stingray off of the goddamn pier in South Carolina. And, Alan James says Nick stuck his dick in a jellyfish and blames the jellyfish. No, dude! That's not what happened. God damn it. But I was fishing with Pops, and we caught a goddamn stingray that weighed about, 50 pounds. And I thought I had caught a great white shark, and it turned out to be a muscly-ass stingray. It was flipping around, and my dad was freaking out. He'd only been, accustomed to fishing bass off the line, and he didn't know what the fuck to do. We just snipped that line and cut our losses.
The stingray killed Steve Irwin. You're supposed to stay away from that. That's what I've heard anyway.
Stingrays are no good. You don't want to be fucking around with all of that. It took out the Steve Irwin. Is Alan James' hero. Mr. Olsey
Oh yeah.
on the podcast.
He is. Is he?
No,
is he your hero?
No, he's actually a New
Oh, yeah, he's not my hero, but he's a pretty cool guy.
He's a New Zealander in Australia. All right, he's he's the best of both worlds. All right, and and I'm sure you liked Kevin Bennett's Crocodile Dundee character. All right, identifying the white supremacy where he sees it.
Oh yeah. When I watched that video, I knew he was parodying, Steve Irwin. So.
Oh yeah, he's got those accents down pat, dude.
Yeah, he's good at them, man. Can you give me a New Zealand accent, Nick?
New Zealand? Is that what you're talking about? I think the only thing I do is do Australian, but add a little to the end and turn it up at the end. And that's all I do is turn it up at the end and do Australian, but ask a question with every statement I make.
You sound like a retarded Londoner.
Well, that's an accurate description, I think. I think that means that I nailed it, and I'm going to take that compliment. All right? I'm going to take that compliment. AJ says, did it give you a boner from the jellyfish? Dude, that was the furthest from having a boner you could possibly be. You're hanging out with your grandma, and then you get stung in the dick by a goddamn sea creature. Not very goddamn exciting. Aaron Freeman says Nick is a sexual pescatarian.
I like AJ's comment. You sound like a more white Obama.
Yeah, dude. And they say there's white privilege, but you never see, half-white individuals claiming their whiteness. They always want to claim the ethnic identity. So Obama was just looked at as black, even though he had a, white mother. But white Elizabeth Warren desperately wants to be Indian. To fit into that goddamn diversity agenda. Like, there's nothing culturally rewarding about being white anymore. White privilege is all gone.
No, she was like, what, 101 out of 125 or something?
Yeah.
With her high cheekbones.
And then she tried to throw it in Donald Trump's face, and oh my God, that is not going anywhere. That's sticking around. That's why she's not going to be the nominee. And
you don't think she's going to be? I think she's going to be the nominee.
If Hillary doesn't swoop in and run, I mean, by process of elimination, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either Warren or Bernie, and I don't know if the DNC is going to allow Bernie to do anything.
I don't think it's going to be Bernie because, honestly, I think it's the heart attack. That kind of fucked him over. And then he said he was going to, like, pull back from his campaign and then reversed on that, but that still did a lot of damage to it. His supporters, like, hardcore supporters, are still going to support it. But I feel like some people are going to either switch over to Warren because she stole all of his policies, or they're going to switch over to Biden just because they feel like he's a safe choice. But Biden's fucking demented. He's like, pretty much needs to go into a nursing home. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's a safe choice unless you have young daughters.
Yeah. He doesn't know what. He gets confused what state he's in because he identifies states in his head as like what the children smell like, and so he's just trying to remember like what the children of Alabama smell like, and he's like, is it Alabama or is it are we in Ohio or I'm trying to get the scent profile here, and so. Yeah, he's dead in the water. It might if Hillary doesn't come in, it's going to be Warren because like you said, he did steal all of the big government, tyrannical socialist takeover shit from Bernie, and she also has the vagina card that they desperately want to play and break that goddamn glass ceiling.
Nick, did you see that interview with Hunter Biden that they had on some?
Oh my God! Yeah.
And he basically admitted, he said, would you have got the job at, was it Burisma, what it was called? If Joe Biden wasn't your dad? And he's like, no, probably not.
He backtracked a little bit, and he was like, I know, but I'm
Yeah.
to do with oil or at all.
Yeah.
Was it a recent interview or was this old that people would dig up?
Yeah, it was a couple of years.
It was recent.
Oh,
Yeah.
why would he go out and do interviews? At this point, you just got to shut up. Like, if I was Joe
No,
Biden, go ahead.
They're going against Trump for once again the same shit. You know, so it's I might not have taken that job. Look, in hindsight, but Trump shouldn't have be saying all this stuff about us. You know, that's all it is.
It's kind of like the chick outside the Dollar General. Like, yeah, he was kind of wrong for coming in with the gun, but then you didn't have to shoot the motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's like, Joe Biden. Joe Biden
He
is
just be robbing. He just be robbing.
Joe Biden just be offering, quid pro quo for his goddamn son over in Ukraine. You didn't have to point the crimes out, Trump. Fuck. You didn't have to point it out to the Ukrainian president. God damn it. So ruthless. But
You can look that little clip up, Nick. It's it's exactly what's wrong with fucking all politics, man. So.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Hunter Biden on relationship
Wait,
with his.
did you see what Tulsi wrote about Hillary? Did we talk about that already?
Oh yeah, no. Hillary. I saw that today. That was the front of Drudge Report this morning. That
You still read Drudge? They've gone on the deep end. I feel like for some reason.
Yeah, everything is about
every other right now.
Everything is about. Oh my God, it's the crisis, and Trump's going to be taken out any day, and it's like all this like negative assumptions and he just links to the biggest mainstream, propaganda whores, and it is kind of weird with Drudge, but I like checking in with him because he has so much traffic, and so it's like you see what the information is that's being peddled out. And I totally forgot what we were just talking about. The goddamn Joe Biden, Hunter Biden thing. Oh, no. Tulsi Gabbard and Hillary. Yeah, Hillary accused Tulsi Gabbard of basically being a Russian agent. It's like the standard leftist conspiracy theory, dude. Everybody's with Russia. Russia's capitalist and Christian now, so we hate them. Oh, the good old days of Stalin and Trotsky and Lenin. Oh my God, can we get them back? They were our...
Yeah, she blamed Tulsi and she called out Jill Stein for some reason. I feel like that's what her name is. So it's not even like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna run, but like she's a third party candidate, so she's not even relevant right now. So it just seemed weird that she would bring either of them up. Maybe she's still bitter, which obviously she is. Still bitter about 2016, and she blames Jill for losing, along with everyone else, Russia and Facebook and anyone else but herself. The reason why she lost that campaign, but like she brought her up too. And then Tulsi went on this rant. She's like, "I'm glad you called me out because I oppose everything you stand for." It was crazy. Kind of like, I'm pretty sure she's pretty like done for as far as her campaign, Tulsi anyway. But I'm glad she called her out because that's fucking bullshit. Although I feel like Hillary's gonna use this to enter the race. Watch, she's gonna try again for some fucking reason.
Yeah, because Tulsi directly opposes, Hillary's quote unquote accomplishments as whatever she was, Secretary of State under Obama, and all the disasters that happened militarily in the Middle East. And Tulsi Gabbard's like, yeah, that was all fucked up. We need to pull all the troops home. and Hillary's like, she's trying to go on the vagina card like I was, but she's a Russian agent. Oh my God, So she's got to, slander her. And I think they're trying to bring Hillary in on the the red carpet of this impeachment hoax, and I don't think it's going to have enough steam. So.
Oh no, and I feel like they're sort of abandoning Biden. That's why, like they know he's fucking terrible. Like he's had gaffe after gaffe, and with this whole scandal. As much as they want to pretend like it doesn't matter, they know it's like they're trying to bring down Trump with the same scandal. Like it's gonna take down Biden as well. So they need someone else. who's a moderate, because the DNC doesn't feel like anyone on the far left is probably gonna like win, and they won't. So they need another moderate, and they don't like anyone else on that stage.
Yeah.
So they need Hillary for some fucking reason. That's just such a dumb play.
Yeah, and that has.
I don't even understand like what their mindset is, like what their strategy.
Well, the entire panel of leftist candidates right now kind of fuck themselves by signing on to that Green New Deal thing.
Oh yeah. Because
it's so absurd, and it's the most radical leftist elements of Congress on the left side. The AOC is just up there saying, "Oh my God, based on no evidence, we're doomed in 12 years, and we gotta, radically shift over to the alternative sources of energy, or else apocalypse." And it's like it's so whacked out and insane. But I think all of the candidates that are running, like, basically agree with implementing the Green New Deal. They all like signed on to it and gave it their sign of approval. And so it's like,
yeah, it's such bullshit. I'm not even sure. I don't want to pretend like I'm completely against implementing not any of the Green New Deal, but like finding better energy resources. Although I'm pro-nuclear, which for some reason they're not, whichever. But I don't understand why they keep pushing out like that one, no offense to anyone else who might be offended by this, but that one mentally disabled girl, or they push out AOC, like, where are the scientists? Like, why don't you push out someone who actually has some credentials in that field? I think that would buy a lot more favor with like everyone else.
Everyone that claims they're pro-science.
16-year-old and a former bartender. I don't understand what their mindset is.
Yeah, all the atheists on the left claim to be pro-science, but there's no actual science behind the climate change agenda. They never focus on the science. It's always focusing on these emotional talking points.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, where's the data?
That's dumb. Exactly, where's the data? Anything at all. They keep saying like the majority of scientists agree about. I'm like, okay, bring one. You have a majority of scientists who agree about climate change. Bring one of them out. One single one of them.
And it's total.
And then I'll probably listen.
It's like a total litmus test for buying into the religion of government. Like it's total appeal to authority. Like just submit your own consciousness. You don't have to actually see the data that we're looking at. You don't have to actually go through the scientific method of validating the information yourself. No, that's a plebeian consciousness. We don't have to, provide it to the plebeian consciousness. It's like Christianity before the Martin Luther. Like, oh, we'll tell you what's written in the Bible. You can't read it yourself and digest it into your own little soiled, dirty consciousness there. You can't comprehend it. So we'll be the priesthood class that sits up here in smocks and tells you about how demonized you are for your goddamn carbon existence.
Exactly.
Vanessa, how guilty do you feel for your carbon footprint? You're a dirty human, and
well, I don't feel
Nick,
hard to make
Nick, just because she's black, don't call her a dirty human.
Well, yeah.
That's not how we roll it.
Number one, you're not allowed to call me dirty.
This is one dirty human to another.
Honestly, I don't just because I do take steps. Even I think a lot more steps than a lot of the leftists who claim to be environmentally conscious or who fight for climate change. But I recycle like crazy. I have my own garden in the back. I use compost. Like I do those like extra steps just because, despite not believing the world's gonna end in 12 or 25 or whatever fucking number they think of. Like I do still take steps to like not to add so much more like disaster or whatever to like the earth, just because I don't know, it makes me honestly I don't like to be genuine about it. It just makes me feel better as a person. It's not that much of an extra step just to recycle and to do all that stuff. Plus I like to cook, so having a garden in the back or having compost is like super easy for me.
Well, you've
Other
been
than that, like I don't feel guilty at all.
You-
I think I'm doing pretty good. The only thing I probably should feel guilty about is because I live in Florida, so my AC is always at 68 degrees or 69 degrees all the time.
Oh, how dare
except
you.
for like December, or except for January, but like for 2 weeks in January is when I probably turn it off. But other than that, yeah, I don't feel bad.
So what's 68 degrees?
Yeah, 68 or 69, because it's fucking hot, and it's like not even just regular hot. It's like, well, you live in Australia, but it's like the humidity. It's just, oh my god, it's ridiculous. I can't. That's why I don't want to like live in Florida that much longer. Probably want to move further up north. I'm thinking DC for now, but like, God. Yeah. Sorry?
I'm just doing the conversion because we don't use.
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah.
In Australia, 68 degrees, you would be on fire.
No, yeah, 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah. But that's cold.
I know, I love it. I love it cold at my house. No one likes to go, well, not no one, but very few people like to come over to my house because I don't like changing it. Because it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like at 70
you privileged
degrees, I can tell.
Privileged, air-conditioned American. God damn it. You just think you just think that because you're on the top of the diversity pyramid, you can just get away with all this AC usage.
I'm not at the top. No, I'm not at the top anymore. I thought I was for a while, but then the trans came in and like the alphabet letters. I'm not at any part of the alphabet letters, so I'm not at the top anymore. I'm like second tier.
You need some
Black,
surgery.
Straight female, second tier. But if I have to be like a lesbian or a trans to get to the first top. And I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I think you get like pretty much the same privileges without having to
You need some disastrous surgery, all right, to up your diversity game.
Yeah,
it's very
like
important.
A lot. It seems like a lot. And plus, I like being a girl. So I like being a girl.
Well,
I like being straight, so I'm pretty good where I'm at.
You have inspired me.
The card whenever I need to.
You have inspired me. I do want to have an outrage garden at some point, dude. I have
Oh, you should. It's so much fun.
Nick was thinking about having a cotton garden.
Oh, what?
A cotton. He was thinking about growing some cotton plants.
Cotton. Oh, so you need my help. You know what? You're speaking to I feel like this should be a Don comment because I'm not actually an American slave. I'm not a descendant of an American slave. So I don't know anything about cotton. I don't know. Maybe
he was just looking for something to keep Heaven busy at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Heaven. I don't know where Heaven's from if she's like a descendant of an American slave, but maybe she can help you out. I'm not a descendant of an American slave. I'm a descendant of French slaves. That would take something else, but
I don't need any.
I'm not American,
I don't need any
I
goddamn
don't
cotton. I'm trying to grow some vegetables out here. God damn it! All right.
Vegetables and cotton. I mean, you could just live off the land at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, we
libertarian.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to start, the outrage commune here, and we need some farmland. If we're gonna self-sustain. All right. If we're gonna for Project Outrage, we need some vegetables and we need some nutrients. All right. So
Vanessa, do you know who Owen Benjamin is?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So
didn't he?
Nick's trying to.
He went off the deep end a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, just making sure. I thought it was my opinion.
Just a little.
Not just a little bit. I feel like I've like slowed down on his comments or his videos just a little bit because he always seems to like go off on his like former colleague. On whom?
The Grabblers or?
Well, I don't watch his videos that much to know, but I just know like whenever he goes off rants, like I think the ones that show up a lot on my feed is like whenever he goes off on Crowder, because I do watch Crowder as much as I know some people don't like him, but like he always like says Crowder's like gay or trans or some shit like that. I'm like, I miss it when they were friends because Owen is really funny, and I feel like Crowder's show has suffered from not having him on his show anymore, like from his writing. But like I feel like it's a little bit. Oh yeah, he's not off on Rogan too. He's not off on everybody. It's just weird. I don't like that. The same thing I don't like about Trump. I don't like off on like our off like former friends or whatever. That just
But
makes
it's
me
like, you
bitter.
sound like someone who thinks we went to the moon.
Oh. I'm still. I used to be like really. I used to be a believer. Like, of course, I'm like, it didn't make sense to me. Why would they lie? And then I figured, now I'm not sure anymore. Which makes me seem. I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know. Epstein, I think, sort of made me teeter far more into believing other conspiracy theories because that fucking came true, and
Yeah.
I'm like, if that came true, then you never know what else.
Yeah. No, the reason I was just joking with that is because I actually watch Owen a lot as well, and I think Nick did as well. But he just went on this whole phase for like I don't know, was it 2 months, 3 months or something? And every time I would check out his thing, he was going off about the moon, and he was banning people, and he was kicking his supporters out if they ever questioned anything what he was saying. So.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's a little, when it feels like, well, I don't really care, but I'm pretty sure some people feel like it feels wrong to like be diagnosing him. And I don't know him at all, just from what I know, but like someone said I'm like a federal agent. No, I'm not. I wouldn't pass, not that I've done anything wrong, but like family members, you know. But anyway.
You're one of those glow in the darks.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like what's I gonna say? Oh, I feel like he's a little bipolar. Like a little. I don't know if he said he's bipolar, but I feel like he's like goes through these manic and depressive states that seem incredibly defined as I think maybe bipolar 2 person. And I mean, I'm not judging anybody because my best friend was bipolar before he is not here anymore. So I'm just saying, it just seems a little weird.
I
No,
live.
because man, Nick's bi as well.
Oh, are you bi? Are you? Which kind of bi are you though, Nick?
I live with a bi.
We're not allowed to say the other one's mental illness. Then we'll get kicked the fuck off this.
I live with a bipolar woman. All right, I'm very schooled in the arts. of being extremely, happy at one point and wanting to love everybody, and then, telling people you've murdered in the past, and and it's very good. It's a very roller coaster experience.
Wait, is she like actually bipolar, or is she like colloquial bipolar? Like everyone's saying that they're bipolar just because they have dramatic mood swings. That's not the same thing.
I think she's been diagnosed, but my thing with Owen Benjamin is he slipped into the heavy religiosity, and as far as the principles go, there's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of beautiful principles that can be extracted from religion, and you can organize your life according to them. You can have a beautiful and productive life.
I agree,
but when you get into that way of looking at the world, you assume things a priori and then look for justifications after the fact. So if you're very skeptical of government and very skeptical of government, institutions like NASA, well, it makes sense when you look at the NASA footage of the moon landing, and you're like, how could they, and you start asking questions. You're like, and it's a great skeptical exercise to be like, oh, that footage doesn't look right, and how could they, live stream the footage, and could they get past the Van Allen radiation belt, and why did they delete the telemetry data, and all these little anomalies that happen. And you're like, oh, well, and you compile these little anomalies that don't make sense, and then you come to the conclusion, oh, it must have been fake. But you're looking for things to confirm that it must have been fake, and ignoring the kind of, greater conspiracy that would have had to surround that, and everyone that would have had to keep that quiet around that, that there was this big hoax being purveyed on the American public, and we never actually went to the moon. Mm-hmm. We never fired a spaceship up into the atmosphere, and it was all goddamn hoax. And it's a lot of assumptions to be made based on little evidentiary anomalies.
Okay. No, that I think was probably one of the bigger reasons why I still lean more towards believing it that it actually did happen. Because I feel like people are not even just like people in general. Like the government is really bad at keeping secrets, especially for that long. And I felt like we would have known, but then I don't know. Lately, within the past 3-4 years, I have had evidence that leaned the other way as well. I'm like stepping really bad, but the other way as well. So I don't know. I'm more towards the I don't know anymore whether we've gone or not.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know if it's physically possible to get past the Van Allen radiation belt. I don't know the physics behind it, but I know how difficult it would be to pull something like that off. But usually those things happen behind closed doors. They don't have massive events projected to the public, and have that kind of, you know, telecommunications media coordination with you know, a system of conspiracy. Like with the Epstein thing, that was all happening, you know, in the Lolita Express and, you know, at private parties and wealthy people's houses, and, you know, the eyes wide shut activity, and oh my God, you know, the sex trafficking, and we can go to the pedophile island, and it's all secretive. All right. And it only gets alluded to like in Stanley Kubrick movies and rumor and everything like that. But it's not like presented to the public in some way that has to be, you know, kept secret by hundreds of thousands of people involved in the presentation of it to the public. I understand how things can be compartmentalized at the top and then people can just execute orders, but at some point there had to be a guy that was like, yep, we're faking it. And it's like you got to be the guy that tells the astronauts that they're not actually going to the moon. Cut the shit, Buzz. You know we were never going. You know, to Buzz Aldrin. And he's like, what? You know, and it's all hoax. You know, it's like, yeah, you're not going to the moon. We're going to give you a lifetime supply of scotch to deal with this goddamn, you know, conscience you have now. And I don't know. There has to be, you know, one decision maker. And it's like, is he not going to use that information to get pussy at the bar? Oh, you think we went to the moon? Let me tell you a secret. I was in on it, you know. I don't know. That's so much power to give to individuals. It's like they're going to leak that goddamn secret.
Yeah, I feel like it. What do you know? I mentioned it earlier in the chat. I don't think people either paid attention or they cared, and I don't blame them because it is Canadians. But what do you feel about the election coming up? Trudeau and Shire and the other guy. I forget his name right now.
Yeah, I truthfully don't know anything about the people that are running against Trudeau, but I hope they win. I hope they beat the goddamn, you know, socialist black-faced agenda. You know,
I mean, this whole I don't even know if Don's still in the chat anymore. I'm surprised he hasn't gone into, you know, and some insult rant, but whatever. I don't even think that. I think it's weird how many times he's been caught with blackface. I don't think blackface is like inherently racist. I just think it's weird. I like, cause some people do just like a costume or whatever, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But like he's done it so many times, I feel like he probably has a fetish with the thing.
Yeah, there's a level.
And he did his through it's too many times. Like, how many times did you need to be a black person? I don't. There's
a level of stereotyping that makes it racist. I think, like.
Oh yeah, if you have if you're like what is it, the minstrels?
Yeah.
I feel like, well, yeah, that would be, but I don't
if you like
I've seen that doing.
If you like put on blackface and go into a sambo dance, like. I think that you know you're getting into racist territory there. All right. If you're like, I don't know what I'm trying to think of the white equivalent. Like if somebody put on whiteface, and what's the most offensive stereotype of white people they could get into? Like I don't know, just eating McDonald's and playing video games.
Vanessa,
is that the most offensive?
Just so you know, Nick uses blackface on Tinder.
Oh. What? Who used blackface?
Nick uses blackface on Tinder. and drives all the way to the ghetto. And by the time the chick's just like, oh, fuck it, you're here. So.
Oh, it's just like Hollywood. They expect me to be black, and surprise.
So you're doing blackface with your voice or with your writing? I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing in like 2 years. Like, how are you doing that?
Yes, I've definitely appropriated black culture with my blaxploitation movie that I wrote. It's very.
Do you think there's something weird about that, Vanessa?
I'm sorry?
Do you actually think there's something weird about that?
About what?
A white Jew guy writing about this black guy with a giant penis who goes around and
Is that the story you've written?
Well, it's called Panther Tale, all right? It's a guy who's down on his luck, all right? He's going through a midlife crisis, all right? He gets divorced, he gets fired, and then he's cast out of his house by his wife, and he goes to a hotel room and miraculously finds $10 million in a duffel bag underneath his bed, and chooses to go and buy a goddamn Lamborghini and start a porn career. All right.
Okay.
And, all the time he's being chased by government agencies and Mexican drug cartels who are the actual, holders of the money before him.
Oh, the money? Okay. No, I don't think that's weird.
And it's called Panther Tale.
No. But the point is he's black and he has a giant penis.
That's the point to Alan.
I think I have a different perspective just because I do write and in fiction and the book that I'm writing is from a perspective from a woman, but it's from something I wouldn't really understand. I'm like doing research on that. So maybe.
So you're basically saying Nick's writing about the things he knows, or?
No, I don't know. I don't know what. Okay, so I'll tell you the book I'm writing from a perspective because I know like lately, cause I like true crime stuff. So lately, a lot of I don't know if you noticed, but I've noticed there's been like an uptick in a lot of family annihilation, which is like the men killing the wife and their child or their children. So I'm writing from the perspective of the woman just because I feel like it'd be easier for me to relate to her because she's the same sex as me. But like I don't know if it's like married to a guy kill me, and that's the story I'm writing from. So I think that's stupid to like be upset about what he's writing from. He's just like coming up with a scenario in his head.
Yeah.
And it's a
fantasy. Let's just call it a fantasy.
Exactly.
I don't like the train of logic that Alan James is going down here. All right. And it's only one of the scripts that the Outrage Chancellor has written. God damn it.
Plus, most stories where they have a black lead are written and produced and directed by like white people. I don't know why anyone would be mad about it now. Like if they've done research for them.
Well, I'm not mad about it.
No,
I just think it's curious.
Turns out, white people are more nerdy on average, and they go into film.
Yeah.
Turns out, white people are more nerdy on average. They go into film. They go into writing, and everybody's upset. Why are there not more representations of different ethnicities in American filmmaking? It's like, dude, the hell are you talking about? It's like white people are.
If they do, then they're like it's racist to do it. Oh no, I do feel like Hollywood should quit on slave themed movies and stuff. Just because I'm like, it's kind of boring. I don't know. I grew up watching. I feel like we've had enough. Like we know what.
No, because
enough of that.
They need to keep pushing the fucking agenda.
Like anything else. I'm pretty sure black people around like just much longer than just that time period. That's one thing that I find. It's just like Hollywood pushes that theme a lot.
Yeah, they need to push that. There's an evil white man trying to kill every black person,
Yeah, I always say like I'm just speaking from a different perspective, just not like I'm not the descendant of a.
But it wouldn't matter if you were anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying is your skin color.
Perspective, yeah. I always feel like I have a preference. Maybe some imagining what's his face is in the chat, but I also have a preference. I don't want to like feel like I'm speaking for them. I just feel like that I don't know.
And you seem to be You seem to be cutting
Most-
out a little bit, Vanessa. Sorry to cut you out, Alan James. But yeah,
I was just gonna.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, basically Australia and New Zealand. A lot of the population here comes from people who were just taken and basically made slaves and put over in this country.
Yeah, I do remember learning that when I was a kid. I don't think I learned the details of it, but I do remember thinking that Australia was full of criminals.
Yeah. So for people, you could be a criminal for anything. You could, try and steal a loaf of bread for your family to eat or something, and you'd be shipped over or something. So
exactly.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to find an up note to turn it out of the slavery discussion. All right, but the outrage chancellor's brain is running dry here at 3:30 a.m. We got to shut it down for the night. All right, lovely calls from Vanessa and Mr. Alan James here. All right, beautiful discussions happening. I love all the outrage crew. Hit that like button if you like what we're doing. PayPal.me/outrage TV if you want to contribute.
Wait. Nick, you got to give us the flex first.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I have a flex in me tonight. I'm so,
Come on, man. Are you a real American or not?
God damn it. The outrage chance is going to get up and make that rent money, dude. And you know what it is. All right? No, dude. We're defending Western civilization. All right? No matter how goddamn tired we are, we're going to get up and defend it once again tomorrow. All right? I may or may not get in the gym tomorrow night. I'm not sure. All right? But, if I make that audible, all right, I'm coming on the stream. All right, and I got to get ready for the damn sketch this weekend. Hopefully we'll have some sketch material hot, ready to serve up to the outrage crew. All right,
So Aaron's basically saying that Nick was tired of Vanessa.
Alan James desperate to start some goddamn smoke.
He's not used to talking to chicks who can actually respond. So.
I feel like Aaron likes me. He just likes to be mean because he likes me. I feel like we get along.
He's like one of those kids in kindergarten.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He only chases the girls he likes, all right? He only roasts the ones he loves. All right. Well, I appreciate the call-ins. It was a good goddamn time tonight, Outrage crew. I love all you bad motherfuckers. We'll catch you again on the Outrage Battleship next time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Peace out, everybody.